Hello, friends. So, this is your old pal, Playhead North. No, I'm not dead. Yes, I am still alive. And I am here to make a video for my channel. As you might already tell, this is unscripted, which is probably bad. Also, I recorded about 20 minutes of this video already, only to realize that OBS wasn't picking up my microphone, so now I have to do it all again. Very excited about that. Anyways, so, when I made the video, I read all of Homestuck in 9 days, and here are my reactions. Some people in the comments accused it of being clickbait, because they were expecting a video about my reactions to Homestuck instead of a video about reaction images from Homestuck. Now, those people I do think are being a little disingenuous, or maybe didn't watch that far into the video before leaving a comment. Classic commenter problem. Because I do very much talk about my thoughts about Homestuck in the video, but they are within the intermissions. And I know from my YouTube analytics that a lot of people didn't watch the intermissions. In fact, just a second. Let me show you what I mean. Like, it is actually quite stark when you look at it visually. Okay, here we are. So you see this graph. This is the average views, the different parts of the video. The higher watched parts, that's the sections that I talk about reaction images. The lower parts are the intermissions. So I'm assuming a lot of people, watched the first part of the video, were like, dang, this is about reaction images. I'm gonna leave a comment about how I wish you were talking about Homestuck instead. That happened, here. And then I think another chunk of people watched, the first intermission, and then they got bored because I started talking about going to IKEA. And then they just skipped all the remaining intermissions, which is so funny to me because the intermissions are by far the best part of the video. These 3 intermissions here are the best part. This part was 7% of views. That's the best part of the video. That's where I bare my soul. But people miss that. It's just fine. You can watch a video however you want. I just think it's funny. So what I think, actually, though, when I get to the core of these comments, I think the real issue is they wanted to hear more of my reactions, right? So that's what I'm here to do. This is my video. I read all of Homestuck in 9 days, and here are my reactions. And this is my reaction video to my video. I read all of Homestuck in 9 days, and here are my reactions. Yeah, baby, we're going in for that low-effort YouTube content, not comment. I'm not commenting. I could comment on my own video. Probably just troll myself. We're going in for that low-effort YouTube content. We're making an unscripted reaction video, baby. And I'm sure the fact that I'm posting this video on April 1st holds no significance whatsoever. April 1st, the only day that is sacred on my YouTube channel, the only day that I either post on or reference without fail. I'm sure that says nothing about me as a person. Anyways, here we go. I'm watching my video. I'm watching it on YouTube. I've taken off the ads for the purpose of recording this video. I'm really tempted to put them back on. Not because I enjoy ads, but because lately, my ads have been completely unhinged. I don't know why, but YouTube's just decided I need to be shown, straight up scammers. I've gotten so many, grifting scheme ads and, weird clothing ads. There was this whole clothing ad about guys wearing jorts, and YouTube knows I'm not a man, and I don't know why it thought that I needed to see an ad about men wearing jorts, and I should have clicked on the company website because I'm still confused as to whether it was supposed to be, like, are they really selling jorts? Was it just supposed to be this weird joking video so that you see what they actually sell? Anyways, I keep taking screenshots of my weird ads. Maybe I'll talk about them in a video someday because I've entered weird ad YouTube. Anyways, let's start. I read all of Homestuck in 9 days, and here are my reactions. Reaction video. Let's go!
On April Fool's Day, I posted the following message to my YouTube channel. I will be posting an April Fool's Day video.
Oh wait, I almost forgot! Okay, just a second. Well, first of all, that's funny. This is an April Fool's Day video. Okay, so the other thing I have to mention is, yes, I have been away from YouTube for a while. You may have noticed that if you are a longtime subscriber of my channel, all of whom I deeply appreciate. And the reason is I have been working on lots of Homestuck content in the background. Now, granted, if you want like a weekly or usually weekly dose of Playhead North, you can actually find me on Twitch. I do stream most weeks. And I'm pretty much this unhinged most of the time. I play a lot of like visual novels and stuff mostly. Cause I like narrating characters. I think that's pretty rad. So if you actually want more content from me, you should follow me on Twitch. My Twitch link should be in the bio. But it's really because I've been working on a lot of Homestuck content in the background, and I'll talk about that as we get into this reaction video, as I need to like break up me just talking about how I just haven't used most of this reaction images in the past year. For me, the build up to April 13th is like December. And April 13th is Christmas. Not because I'm getting presents on April 13th, but because I'm friggin' Santa, and I am creating presents to give all of you on April 13th, except I don't have an ununionized labor pool to draw from. It's just frickin' me. So I'm over here losing my mind. Also, April 13th is like right by tax day here in the US, which is terrible. Why did you choose that day, Andrew Hussey? You could have chosen like July 15th, and that would have been a great day to start posting Homestuck. I'm disappointed you didn't think about me personally and the content I would be making around the same time I need to be doing my taxes. But anyways, we'll get into me being like friggin' Santa later in the video. But let's get started, alright? This is a long enough introduction. I'm already gonna have to like cut half of this out when I edit this.
Just not today. Smiley face. If you happened to see this post, you probably assumed that the joke was something like, I had an April Fool's Day video planned, but refused to post it on April
I think
Fool's
people
Day
just thought you didn't have one planned.
troll
Pass
mode.
north.
I will be releasing my April Fool's Day video on April 13th. Smiley face.
That smiley face is so ominous. It took me stupidly
Well,
long
friends, today
to get
is
that
April
video to
13th.
work.
Or at least
To
it will be
line
for
up
you
with
if
the
you watch
music
this video
cues and
on the day it
everything.
comes out. Or one of its anniversaries.
This introduction took me way longer to edit together than it should have.
One illustrious John Egbert. I had tried to read Homestuck several years before, but it burned out after Act 4. This time
Oh
though,
man, okay wait, this is a great time. So since I'm doing my reaction to this video, which honestly I'm treating more as like a director's commentary on this video, I'm gonna point out some of the Easter eggs that I hid in here that I don't think anyone has found yet, which is totally fine. But you know, just some stories about like how this video came to be and some behind the scenes stuff. So, when I read Homestuck, it was in 2019, and the reason I read Homestuck was because I had played Undertale and absolutely loved it, and wanted to see what Toby Fox had done. I quite literally had never heard of Homestuck until 2019. I, to this day, am shocked by this fact. I think part of it is that I've never been on Tumblr, but I mean, I have and had, while Homestuck was coming out, lots of nerdy friends who would have been in the right demographic. I think I'm slightly too old for Homestuck, but not really. I think what really surprises me, especially because the early parts of Homestuck are very much like programmer humor, and I knew so many people in college who would have been all over that. To be clear, I was in college when Homestuck started coming out. Like, in that same era, one of my floor mates in the dorm I was living in introduced me to dinosaur comics. Dinosaur comics. It sounds like I said dinosaur comments. So, like, the right demographic of nerds who have heard about Homestuck, the right demographic to have heard of other, like, webcomics that were in the vicinity of Homestuck, and I still somehow never heard of it until I played Undertale. And the way I heard about Undertale is, and I will still posit to this day, possibly the strangest way anyone has ever heard of Undertale. So basically, I got really into nonograms for a while because they were in a Nancy Drew game, and I've been a fan of Nancy Drew games for a long time, and they often have really great mini games. And one of them is set in Japan and has nonograms as the mini game. So I got really into nonograms, and I would do them like during class when I needed something to keep my hands busy, but I still needed to more or less pay attention so I couldn't do anything like super intensive. And so I was doing these nonograms, and the point of a nonogram is that it's basically like Minesweeper, except it's kind of like Minesweeper, vaguely. It's kind of like Minesweeper and Sudoku had a baby, and that's nonograms. Anyways, the point is you make a picture at the end. And so I did this list of nonograms in a row that were on this website where people got to make their own nonograms. And they were all these, like, very distinct character designs, but I did not recognize them. And after you solved it, you could see the title of what the picture was supposed to be. And so I Google searched them, and it turns out that they were characters from Undertale. I remember one of them was Alphys. I think one of them was Frisk, but I know for sure one of them was Alphys. That's how I heard of Undertale, stuck that on my wish list, bought it years later, played it, loved it, looked to see what Toby Fox had done, found Homestuck, read Homestuck, burned out, picked it up 3 years later because I started listening to Homestuck Made This World. The rest is, unfortunately, history. I have never been the same since.
I would finish the comic the next day.
You know, this intro did turn out really well, though. I spent a lot of time on it. I think it turned out pretty well.
Right. I read all 8,000 pages and 800,000 words of Homestuck in a little over a week. I digested that behemoth of a story as though it was a poorly thought out series of vodka shots.
And I have never been the same since.
I was running on about 20 hours of sleep over the past 5 days. I'd sent hundreds of rambling Discord messages at one of my friends. Thank you, Kita, for putting up with me. You are truly the best Colonel Sprite a girl could ask for. But most importantly, I had taken dozens upon dozens of reaction shots from the comic.
Now, this is actually true. This was something I did while reading the comic. I still have a folder on my desktop that's labeled Homestuck, and it has all my reaction images in it.
I'm not really here to talk about my thoughts regarding Homestuck. I mean, I don't know. I might include something later in this video briefly discussing what I thought about Homestuck. I guess keep watching to see if I did that.
I added this because I wanted to stop people from accusing this video of being clickbait, but as I've said, people accused it of being clickbait anyways because you were not one of the 7% who made it to the Metamission!
However, is showing you the top reaction images I gathered during my Homestuck journey. Now I know what you might be thinking. North, there's literally a Tumblr site where they've gathered all of the Homestuck images I could possibly want.
I think I was actually worried that someone would accuse me
My answer to that is no. The problem
of ignoring this Tumblr site, which is why I put it in the video, but no one has ever accused me of anything or even brought up this Tumblr site. But it does exist.
For a particular character or a particular theme, as though you were walking through the aisles of IKEA, then yes, the fantastic website.
But you know what's funny is that if you've seen the video, I talk about it in a story when I went to IKEA later on. I scripted that after I wrote this intro. I'm almost positive. In fact, yeah, I'm pretty sure I scripted it after I wrote this intro, so I guess IKEA was just on my mind.
And for that cause, I am presenting myself as your chosen one. I am a new class spect, known as the Curator of Meme.
I have to pause this for a second because I had my Homestuck friend, Kita, watch this video before I posted it to give me their thoughts. And one of the things that they pointed out to me is that this specifically might annoy Homestucks. Not really the making up a new class spect, but I think specifically the fact that curator is more than one syllable. I think they pointed that out to me. I know someone pointed it out in the comments of this video. And I was like, I don't care, I'm leaving it in because I think it's funny. And now this does kind of annoy me. Like, I've gone deep enough into the Homestuck rabbit hole over the past year that this is the sort of thing that does irritate me a little bit. I actually think doing something of memes is a pretty funny class spect, but I don't know what I would call it instead of curator. Like, I'm trying to think of a one syllable word that has the same sort of connotation. Like, guide of memes doesn't work as well. I just have to note that I'm now one of those people where this kind of irritates me a little bit.
This is my planet. It is called Losam, the land of screens and misery.
I do like this joke.
Is of course named Andrew Husson.
And I like that joke too.
My quest by exchanging 9
it's just the curator of memes one.
A veritable fount of meme knowledge. I did this so that you don't have to. You're welcome.
I was running on so little sleep at this point.
Art isn't meant to be kept in a shameful.
Okay, wait. I have to pause this for a second. So, one, that is my actual Homestuck reaction image folder that I'm about to jokingly drop into the recycle bin. But I also want you to remember this image because I'm going to reference it later as one of the Easter eggs in this video.
Your desktop. Art is meant to be shared.
Someone pointed out in the comments of this video that
also, may spoil that
the car cat
characters make God tier.
Bouncing around is like a DVD loading screen back in the day, and I love that. I love DVD loading screen car cat.
So it's probably not
or like a waiting screen, not really a loading screen.
There is one arguably. Let's begin counting down.
Oh, I love this song.
Okay, then,
one of my favorite songs in Homestuck.
53. Look, I tried to cut it down to 50 reaction images, but
I really did.
Let's face it, narrowing this list down to just 53 images from 8,000 pages of webcomic is still pretty impressive. You're going to
I was so tired when I made this video. You have to understand that I finished Homestuck on April 2nd, and then between April 3rd and April 13th, I made this video. So not only did I read Homestuck in 9 days, but I then made an hour-and-a-half video about Homestuck that was essentially in itself just my full reaction to Homestuck in 11 days, which if you know anything about making videos, is a very short time to do a video that long. Especially one that's scripted.
I'm going to
honestly, this video is just like a good reminder of all these great reaction images that I have on my Homestuck folder. Hey, Carcat's back!
I'm using the numbering from the unofficial Homestuck collection, which also generally tracks the numbering on the official Homestuck website. For each of these images, I'm also providing...
Oh yeah, if you decide to read Homestuck, make sure that you download the unofficial Homestuck collection because it is the only way to read Homestuck. The official website has like a bunch of broken links and stuff.
You're welcome. A good number of these are going to be of John or Carcat. I swear it's not just because they're my favorite characters.
she says with a bouncing DVD waiting screen Carcat in the background.
that I have so many images of them because they are my favorite characters. Moving on to reaction image number 52, we have Tavros, and he's just excited. All right? This picture is entitled Clapping Bull Boy because
I have not used this picture a single time since I made this video.
Because I am terrible with names, John, which is also from the Flash game.
Okay, I have to pause this. So I realized while filming the first version of this that didn't work out because my microphone wasn't getting picked up by OBS. Thank you once again, OBS, for that. John has 5 fingers in this picture. Usually Homestuck people are drawn with 4 fingers. Like, I think this is one of the only places I can think of in the entire comic where I remember seeing someone with 5 fingers. Like, even when they're drawn more realistically, they're often drawn with 4 fingers. It's just so interesting. Anyways, it's a good picture that I also don't use enough.
$36.95. Now, I have more shocked type images later on in this list that I think are probably better than this one, but what I love about this picture is how John's expression is just slightly too over the top. Like, you can almost hear him saying, "Why, I do declare," as though he's a Southern belle. And I love that for him.
I would have loved to see that in
Reaction
Homestuck.
image number 50. Here we have an image of Jane that I have entitled Annoyed and in a Disguise.
This is a good
It's from
picture.
page
I use this
42,
one.
42, and I can't get enough of that deadpan look on her face. I adore this image.
This is
and the
good,
only
but I
reason
do
it's
not
lower
use
on
it
this
enough.
list is that it's one of the less versatile images.
Also,
here.
notice 4
But, you know,
fingers.
when you're chatting with your friends and need to order them out, it's perfect.
He has
You
4
know, maybe
fingers.
You need them to change the subject. Maybe you want to order them to go to horny.
I put this out because I thought it was honestly canon that in the world of Homestuck, they only have 4 fingers. But I guess that's just a construct of the medium once again. Fascinating.
Dale, whatever the reason.
Probably
you
not
need
to
them
you, but
get
it is
out,
to me.
My son John has your back. Image number 48. This one is entitled Friendship, and it's an early one in the comic from all the way back on page 920.
Okay, so this is a cute picture. I have not used it a single time, but I should use it more. Like, I have a group of friends where we are trying to send each other physical mail more, partially because, as it turns out, the post office makes, like, so many amazing stamps. Like, if you haven't looked at the post office stamp website, which I made the mistake of doing when, you know, funding for the post office here in the United States was a little bit dicey a few years ago. I say mistake, but it wasn't a mistake. I was supporting the post office. They have some just really fun, beautiful stamps. So we need to send letters because of that. I also bought a bunch of really awesome postcards when I went to the Smithsonian's Air and Space Museum, which is a great museum, and, like, their gift shop is incredible. I definitely spent way too much money there, but, like, amazing gift shop. I got these, like, ladies of Star Wars postcards that are super rad. I need to send those out. But also, and you may not know this, so there is a professor at Harvard who specializes in studying happiness, and she has a bunch of lectures that are for free online on, like, one of Harvard's websites. There's, like, a free course you can take about the science of happiness, and I watched one of her lectures, and she talks about how studies have shown that if you, like, sit down and write someone a letter, you actually get a happiness boost for, like, a full month afterwards, which is insane. So, you know, once again, another reason to be writing more letters to my friends. Heckin' cool stamps from the post office. Helps you be happy. And I mean, I do need to start using those Women of Star Wars postcards, because they are super rad. And then, when they get my mail, or when I get mail from them, I need to start remembering to post this reaction image, because it's perfect. It's perfect for my letter writing group. You should write a letter writing group, post this image with your friends, and then tell me about it in your comments about how much happier you are now that you're writing your friends letters.
5. Again, it's a bit
Do it!
specific,
I
but
dare
it's a
you!
lovely image. Great for telling your friends that you received something from them in the mail.
Do it!
But
I
think it
love
can
hearing
broaden
about
it to
people's
express
good news
joy
in the
at having
comments.
received
It's the
something more
best.
intangible. Type, "Thank you for sending me that excellent Homestuck reaction image. I received this with joy," and drop this baby into your chat. Image number 47. This is actually a series of reaction images entitled...
Oh, I do
Intense
use these
Stare Down
images.
For, obvious reasons.
I like these ones a
These
lot.
first show up on image number 46. Here we have fetal position John from the animation on page
I forgot about this
948.
picture. Like,
I mean,
this
that's
is
one of
such a
really
good picture, and I
self-explanatory.
think the
Here's when you
issue...
feel like curling into a ball from a mind-shattering
I think the issue is I
revelation.
don't know if I have this
Done.
saved on my phone.
Image number 45. This
I don't know. Okay, so this is a pro tip for all of you. I find that I use reaction images a lot more when I'm on my phone, like typing in Discord. So I have a Homestuck album on my phone. It's literally the only album on my phone, and that's where I get my reaction images from, but I found that I have some images that are saved on my desktop, but not on my phone. So the moral of the story is, make sure that you know, when you have like a free moment, you're watching like a TV show or something, make a reaction image album on your phone and make sure you populate it with everything that you want. Like, you can just take my Homestuck reaction image folder, which is still up, the link to this is still up, by the way. Stick it all in an album on your phone, and then your future self will thank you when you have all of these in an easy place. I haven't even done this for myself, but you should do it for yourself, because you owe it to yourself and your friends to use these reaction images. And when your friends are getting spammed with Homestuck reaction images, you can tell them to thank me in my comments. Boost that engagement, baby!
one is Laughing Rose from the Flash game on page 5263. What I like about this is it's a laughing image, but it's classy, you know? Sometimes you just want to show dignified amusement.
You know what?
at your
Honestly,
friend's show.
too. And this is a true story. So I was telling my friend Sulmatul that I was making this video, but I didn't tell her what it was about. I just said that I was making a video. And she asked me what it was about, and I just posted this in response, and then she said basically, "I'm afraid now." Also an excellent way to use this image.
I'm sorry, did I mention I took a ton of
Forgot
captures
about
of
this one
John?
too. It's so cute.
Happy John was already taken by this point in the comic. This is from page 74-77. Perfect for reacting to anything adorable. I mean, honestly, if someone posted this reaction image to me, I'd probably just post it right back because I mean, look at that face. How could you not love that face?
I don't know. John
Page
is
number
pretty
42.
adorable.
This one is actually a series of images of sad gremlins. I know they're called carapations or whatever, but this is my video, Sad Gremlins. These are from pages 888.
Oh yeah!
1840.
I forgot about this! People argued in the comments about whether or not they were considered carapations. Did we ever figure out whether they were technically or not, or if they're just imps, which are separate from carapations? Tell me in the comments!
1938 and 3003. You know, sometimes you want to express that you're feeling sad and a little pathetic, and also that you're a little bit of a gremlin.
I mean, I am a little bit of a
Well, now you have
gremlin.
4 different flavors of that.
I need to use these more. In fact, I've been thinking that I need to
Image
use those
number
ones more.
41. This is John rolling eyes.
I
This is the
forgot
other
about
eye
this
roll caption
one,
that
and
I
it's
was
so
talking about.
good!
This is
Let
from
me check
page
to see if it's on my phone. I think that's the issue.
It's just so expressive. I love it. The roll. Ah, perfect. Beautiful.
Yeah, see, it's not on my phone. That's the issue. You need to make sure that you put all of your best reaction images on your phone. I'm telling you. That's my pro tip. That's Plan North's pro tips for reaction image supremacy. Make sure that all of the images you really want are on your phone. Okay, anyways, we're at the first intermission now. We're at the first intermission, so I think it's time for me to tell you a little bit about one of the pieces of Homestuck content that I've been working on. So, at the very end of this video, I suggested that perhaps I might create a Homestuck fanfiction about the alternate universe in which Baking Dad and Jack unionize. And a lot of you in the comments said you were interested in that. Well, congratulations, I've been working on it. Has the story spun wildly out of control such that I've written 60,000 words already and haven't even finished the first part? Yes. But hey, it wouldn't be Homestuck-ish. It wouldn't be a Homestuck-like if it wasn't spinning wildly out of control. I don't know why I ever criticize Andrew Hussey, because every single one of Andrew Hussey's bad tendencies I also possess. I have never been concise at any point in my life, but the moral of the story is, I've already started writing it. I've written 60,000 words. I have a plot for the whole story where it's gonna go. I haven't worked everything out, but like, I'm close to working out most of the big things, and I'm gonna start posting it on April 13th. So if you want to read the alternate universe, you can go to my AO3 account. You can find the link in the description. I have also been writing, although I've been, it's a little bit on a hiatus just because this is tax season. Did I mention how tax season is right next to Homestuck Day? And I've been working for freaking Homestuck Day. Anyways, I've been working on another Homestuck fanfiction called Cowcat Watches The Bachelor, where I watch the current season of The Bachelor and write reaction posts in character. Like the whole thing is a dialogue of Carcat and his friends watching The Bachelor on the Meteor. But it's this current season of Bachelor that's being streamed to them through Paradox Space. Anyways, I've never watched The Bachelor before. Turns out all of the people who watched The Bachelor and said it was bad were correct. Like, I'm not even kidding when I say it's worse than I thought it was. Like, I knew it was gonna be bad, but I didn't realize it would be this bad. And I'm also very disappointed because the Bachelor this season is named Zach, and I have seen one use of the term the Zatchler, all right? Apparently every year on The Bachelor now, they split the two women into like football teams and make them play football against each other, and the winning team gets to spend more time with the Bachelor, which is like, if The Bachelor was more of that, it would be a lot better. I just want to be clear. Like, you're probably hearing this as someone who hasn't watched The Bachelor, and you're like, wow, that's amazing. For one, it's not amazing because they don't show enough of the football game. But for two, like, this is just one of the many, many dates that happens, and most of the dates are just, like, asinine or just freaking weird. Okay, so, in this season of The Bachelor, there is a date in which Zach and this small group of women he's now whittled it down to go on a group date where they're supposed to be, like, talking to a magician. But the magician basically just makes them discuss their traumas, and all of the women feel awful and are crying afterwards. And it is one of the most uncomfortable, like, 15 minutes of television I've ever seen. Like, the Zatchler looked like he didn't want to be there. All of the women definitely didn't want to be there. The only person who wanted to be there was this, like, mentalist magician dude who's re-traumatizing all of these women. And the producers were like, this is great television, except it's not great television. I felt horrible afterwards. Like, I just felt gross. I don't know what they were thinking. That's The Bachelor, all right? It's not fun football games. It's like horrible mentalist sessions with a magician who starts out by doing like, oh, a fun little sleight of hand trick, but then uses that to lead into like all these women are now crying because he's made them talk about their like bad abusive relationships and how like this whole situation of being on The Bachelor is really hard, so they kind of want to leave. And I'm the viewer going, my gosh, stop making these people cry. Stop it. Anyways, I've been writing reaction posts. I will write more, I promise. I'm gonna finish up the season. Otherwise, I will have just watched The Bachelor for literally no reason. I have to finish up this fanfic. So you can also find that if you go to my AO3 account. Alright, we're gonna continue with the video.
Was going to be just a bit much, so I'm going to throw in a few intermissions in here.
I can't remember exactly in the process. So I will say, I originally did start writing this video as a reaction. Like, I was going to talk about my reaction images, my favorite reaction images. And then I decided that that might be a little boring to just go straight through the images. So then I was going to add some intermissions maybe if I had time. But eventually the intermissions overtook the video because it turns out it's really fun to write about you trolling yourself. And I remember, like, I had the idea that I was going to essentially what happens in this first intermission where I read about me trolling myself through past things I'd written into the script. But then it evolved into, like, me realizing, man, if I'm gonna do the Carcat trolling myself through memos thing, I should just do it in video form. Like, let's do this concept on steroids. And that's how this video came about. You have to remember I was very sleep deprived at the time. It honestly explains a lot.
Truly in the spirit
I mean, a lot of what happens in this video is because I just read Homestuck, but a lot of it too is I was very sleep deprived.
I mentioned in the original pre-recorded voiceover that I might talk about my actual thoughts and reactions to Homestuck, so that's what I'm going to do, I think, in these intermissions. I kind of figure if I don't say something, people are going to ask me in the comments anyways, and...
Or they'll just accuse you of making a clickbait video. Well, ha ha! Take that, commenters!
So
I made a video about my favorite reaction images and my reactions to Homestuck, and I'm reacting to that reaction video. How many more reactions do you want from me?
So thank you, past self. Thank you, scriptwriting North. Let me start going through them now then.
I'm completely sober right now.
One,
it is a Sunday afternoon. I have no excuse for being this way.
That is a very excellent question, past self, and I don't quite know how to answer it. The most honest answer is that I suspect I have undiagnosed ADHD.
This is the answer to why I read Homestuck in 9 days. Truly, stop asking me. People keep asking me, stop asking me. I answered it in this video.
Reading Homestuck sometimes you have to do crazy things to remind yourself that you're alive. So for some people, that's skydiving. And
for some people, it's Fight Club. For me, it's
self-harm to my psyche.
Homestuck. All right, which is worse, Fight Club or Homestuck?
There you go. There we go. All right.
Don't answer that. I know you're all gonna say it's Homestuck.
Would you would you recommend reading Homestuck in 9 days?
No.
No.
So for the people who ask me why I put in this IKEA story, it is because it really happened. And also in in really thinking about this, I think that IKEA trip might be one of my core memories now because I remember this vividly. Like, I remembered this so vividly. You would think I wouldn't remember it vividly considering I was so sleep deprived at the time, but I remember it vividly. It is like freaking core memory up there with, you know, like what are some of my other core memories? Watching Peter Pan as a kid, like my earliest memories are of loving Peter Pan. Very strange thing to have as a core memory, but that is a core memory. What other core memories do I have as a kid? Man, like, oh, there's the time that I didn't get the part I wanted in the school, in our class play when I was in first grade, and then I was crying at home. If you ever needed confirmation that I was supposed to be a theater kid, that's the confirmation. I've never really done theater, but I think I was supposed to be a theater kid, which is probably why Homestuck speaks to me. I feel like Homestuck is big. It's what I like to call theater kid energy problem solving. It's where instead of solving your problem by trying to address the problem, you solve the problem by throwing more drama on the fire. Theater kid energy problem solving. It's abbreviated to THEPS. I swear this is something that I genuinely talk about with my friends. Like, when I say big theater kid energy problem solving, or THEPS, my friends know what I mean. Homestuck has a lot of that. I think I exhibit more of that than I should in my day-to-day life, and that's just proof that I was supposed to be a theater kid.
Strainer. So, there were literally two things
Truly
on
explains
the
so
list,
much about me.
And I didn't realize how tired I was until I was at IKEA, and things were kind of blurry. and I was having trouble remembering what I came there to buy. And remember, there were 2 things on my list, so I finally made it to the self-checkout with some organization totes, great, on my list, a tea strainer, great, on the list, a whole lot of chocolate, an IKEA bag keychain, which is adorable, by the way, I don't regret this.
I do like that keychain. So the thing about that keychain, if you ever go to IKEA, that's great. Get the keychain because you can put your credit cards in it. It's literally the right size. And then you don't have to take your wallet with you everywhere, which is really nice. I really enjoy that, all right? I know that if you're a guy and you're out there, you're like, oh, I have big pockets. But you know what? I don't have big pockets, okay? I'm a girl. I have those jeans with the stupid tiny pockets that can barely hold my keys in it, but it can't hold my keys and that tiny little IKEA tote with my credit cards and driver's license in it.
So,
although the chain did
make
kind of
it to
break
the
on it,
end
I have to
of the
fix
things on
that.
my
But it's
list.
great.
Even though I felt like
It's a
I was
great
floating most
size.
of the time. I checked out, I picked up myself to leave, and about 15 feet from the checkout stand, so that's about 5 meters for you non-imperialist folks, I realized that I wasn't holding enough things, and I had in fact forgotten one of the organization totes. So I go back to the self-checkout stand, and it's not there.
I still don't
like
know what
not
happened.
On the area where
I
you put your
genuinely
stuff
don't know what
after you've
happened.
checked out.
Frickin'
Do a thorough
mystery.
search of the self-checkout stand.
Okay,
To see if it
here's the thing. I think the 2 greatest mysteries in my personal life, what happened to the totes? Second other greatest mystery. One time, when I believe my brother was in high school, he was talking about how he wanted like a nice, soft, cuddly blanket to have on his bed. He wants a nice, soft blanket. I told him that I'd seen some like that at Target. So we go to Target to go buy his blanket with this. I think he had a Target gift card because my brother, like, man, good on him. He's so not materialistic. But because of that, everyone gives him gift cards. And, like, he just always has a backlog of gift card money he hasn't spent. Anyways, so we go to Target to buy this blanket. And as we're checking out, the guy at the cash register goes, oh, that's a nice little blanket you've got there. To this day, my brother and I talk about whether he was being genuine or condescending. I don't know. And you'll probably be out there going, well, I've worked in retail. I'm probably like, he was probably just saying it without really thinking about it. But this is important context. This happened in Minnesota. Minnesotans are great at being passive aggressive. They are masters of saying things that sound nice, but aren't actually nice. So it's very possible he just said, oh, that's a nice little blanket you got there. Genuine statement, move on. But it's also possible he was at the end of a long shift. He was tired. He thought it was a little weird that this high school student was buying a blanket. And so, in true Minnesotan fashion, he goes, oh, that's a nice little blanket you got there. That came out way more Minnesotan. Anyways, point stands. I don't know. I remember my brother and I talked about this literally in the car afterwards. We both said, like, we didn't just, like, come up with this together. We both individually had the same thought. I don't know if that was supposed to be condescending or genuine. We discussed that together after realizing we had both individually had this thought. And now, like, 10 years later, okay, not quite 10 years, like 7 years later, I still don't know. He doesn't know. So, like, when I die and they're like, you can ask God 3 questions about your life, 2 of these are going to be, what happened to the IKEA totes? Was that man being genuine or was he being condescending? I need the answers, God!
I learned the price of my dignity that day, and it's apparently worth at least as much as an $8 IKEA tote.
I like that
The
line.
only explanation I have is
I don't know
some
that my
people
dignity
stuff
is worth a lot more than an $8
hijinks
IKEA
involved,
tote.
Some time, a purifier hijinks. So maybe this tote will show up in my future, or or maybe it'll show up in yours. So if you randomly encounter a gray IKEA set of shoe totes, you're welcome.
To everyone in the comments who said they received my IKEA shoe totes, I know you can't all be telling the truth, but you're welcome.
It's really a true story. That's not just a bit for this video. Question 4. Of course. What would your trollsona be, you coward? I'm not taking the bait past north, but I appreciate your attempts to antagonize me.
They're not attempts to antagonize you, they're foreshadowing
I don't know what
the future intermissions that you may have missed if you skipped because you got bored at this intermission.
Not answering that one either. I was really on one when I wrote these questions. Okay, just a second. Let me scroll down. Okay, here we go. Question 6. Who are your favorite characters? My top 3 characters in no particular order are John, Dave, and Karkat.
All good choices.
Roxy would be a really close 4th, and then after that are probably Dirk, Terezi. I don't know how to pronounce these names. And
for everyone who has told me that the correct way to pronounce it is Terezi, and it makes you sad that I pronounce it Terezi, I want you to know that you make me even more resolved to start calling her teriyaki. Andrew Hussey said that you could pronounce them however you wanted, and they didn't really care. So if I want to call Terezi teriyaki, maybe that's the correct pronunciation in Trollian. I want you to understand that I become even more resolved to do this. Again, why do I ever criticize Andrew Hussey? I have every single one of their bad tendencies.
Baking Dad. I decided that Dad deserved to have
Can't
more
believe
of,
I put Baking Dad at like
moniker,
7.
just
Baking Dad, the only reason Baking Dad isn't number 1 is because he's not in the comic more. Baking Dad is amazing.
Question. Nope.
The only person in greater Homestuck continuity that is more of a goat than Baking Dad is the literal goat dad from Friendsim, and that's just because he's an actual goat. Otherwise, he's on par with Baking Dad. Best parents in Homestuck, Baking Dad and Goat Dad. I will fight you on this. I don't think anyone is trying to fight people on who the best guardians of Homestuck are. But apparently I'm willing to fight them. I mean, I guess Grub Mom is alright too, but like, Baking Dad and Goat Dad are where it's at. If you don't like Baking Dad, then don't talk to me. I don't want to be your friend. Again, I'm sober. I don't know why I'm like this. Subscribe on Twitch. Subscribe to me on Twitch if you want more of my unhinged, unscripted commentary. I've been told I come across much differently in my YouTube videos because I script them. You know, it's not that often where like you know, people talk about how sometimes content creators on the internet have very different personas online that they do in real life. And a lot of times people are like, yeah, you know, this person's persona online is much angrier or, you know, up in arms about things at their real life persona. It turns out I'm just the opposite. My real life persona, who I am in real life, is just so much more unhinged than how I come across usually on the internet. I think I'm proud of that. Like, I am proud of that. That's great. All right, moving on.
Here's the thing, actually. This is a good part about recording myself in more of this freeform way instead of a scripted way, is that all I have to do now is stop this recording and, like, drop it into my editing timeline with some dorky little Homestuck pictures and, wait a second. What the heck?
All right, so I'm laughing because that whole thing was scripted. You might be able to figure it out, but all of the intermissions I tried to make sound like they weren't scripted. They were all completely scripted. In fact, let me show you the script. Okay, here we go. This is my Homestuck reaction images script. I can even show you every single part of this video was scripted. I mean, you probably would have figured that out for things like the conversations with my future selves that happen later on in the video. But even here, like, notice, question 2, would you recommend reading Homestuck in 9 days? No, don't do it. Bad, it's bad for your brain. That wasn't even off the cuff. It was all scripted. The whole thing from beginning to end was scripted. I just wanted it to sound unscripted, and I think I succeeded. Yep. I just think it's funny. I also had to, the other thing is because of the way that the timeline shenanigans work, that intermission and the second intermission in particular, I had to record as the very last things in the video. So that was the other reason it all had to be scripted, because I had to basically finish everything. I had to, like, even do some of the video editing, and then I had to stick those in later.
Confused Baking Dad.
Oh, Confused Baking Dad is good. I don't use this picture enough. This is all this video is gonna be. It's just me giving you random stories about me and my life and saying, oh, I didn't use this reaction image enough.
Come on. He deserves a better name than just Dad. I'm not apologizing for this. He's perfect for all expressions of confusion, of I don't understand, please give me more information, of reacting to being sucked into a terrible video game world.
I should send this to people before I explain Homestuck to them!
Because he's freakishly
That's
strong.
hilarious! I forgot I put that joke in there!
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, because I'm not certain how much...
If you're gonna talk this much, at least put DVD Car Cat in the background!
But it is related to a major storyline in Act 5, so skip ahead to the timestamp if you want. Here we have Shoosh, is from page 49.
I mean, it's such a good picture, but the problem is that I don't use this one that much, because in order for it to really hit, you have to have read Homestuck.
And you want them to stop judging you for your life choices. Well, here you go.
I do want my friends to stop judging me for my life choices, though.
This image is called Jake Shocked.
Oh, I do use this one. I do, and I use this in place of Shocked Pikachu face. In fact, in my Discord, I added this as one of the emojis.
Things have escalated to the point.
I was really getting confused with how to edit things here, wasn't I? Just add more! Add more of them!
You have now unlocked
the face on double combo.
Gosh, I'm such a dork. Image number 34. This image is
I forgot that I put that in.
It's from page 52.
This is another good one that I don't use. Is this on my phone? I don't think it is.
Those times when you just want to raise your fists to the heavens and yell. It's beautiful. I love it.
Oh wait, I do. I just forget to use it.
The exact opposite.
This is such a good one too.
John, from page 62.
I don't have this one on my phone.
Do I have to say anything more?
Oh my gosh, I forgot about all these good pictures.
Flash game on page 33.
I do have this one on my phone. I don't use it enough either.
Honestly, what I love about this picture is its versatility, embarrassment, bemusement, skepticism. All of these emotions.
I should use this more for skepticism for sure. Oh man.
And I'm really hoping now that.
Oh wait, it's not on my phone. That's why I never use it. This is what I'm saying, people. Put your Homestuck.
Idiot who got it wrong. Image number 31.
Put your home. Stop. I want you to stop right now. Okay? Go to the link in the original video that has all of these images. Download them to your phone. Okay? In a separate Homestuck folder. Yes, I am. If you can hear that, I am hitting my desk right now. I am emphasizing my points. I want you to do that. Then come back. Your future self will thank me. I'm taking way too long to make this video. It's supposed to be low effort.
I don't even know. I don't even know where to begin with this recording. I don't even know
So, this intermission is funny because I've had, like, multiple people tell me that I sounded legitimately upset, which is what I was going for. Like, that was, you know, that was that was the plan. I mean, again, it was all scripted. I was supposed to sound upset. So here's the thing. Like, this is a thing that I don't think enough people know about me. Is that I'm a pretty good voice actor. Like, legitimately. And I know it just sounds full of yourself when you're saying this about yourself, but also it's true. I'm a pretty good voice actor, and I could sound upset even when I'm not actually upset. I'm just more tired. I mean, there's probably tired that you're hearing. That's true. Again, very sleep deprived.
Why I'm making it, nobody's gonna believe me, even if I record all this. I mean, I guess alright,
So I kept playing this refrigerator stuck music in the background where it's like da 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 da
Homestuck.
da
And,
da.
a whole bunch of stuff in my editing timeline that
My magic editing timeline.
Um,
It's a timeline. Get it? It's the timeline.
I'm the only person who has access to this.
I don't know why I'm
laptop.
shouting this.
So unless this was some sort of elaborate, like, hacking into my laptop just to mess with an editing timeline, which seems really unrealistic, right?
I also had to do multiple
And,
takes of this
and
because
more than that.
okay, so that's the other funny part. I had to do multiple takes of me like sounding very upset about this fake timeline shenanigans I set up for myself. Because normally what I do when I record a script is I just read from my laptop while I record in a closet or something. If my audio quality is not as good now, it's because I'm not recording in my closet. I'm just sitting at my desk doing this because I wasn't gonna sit in my closet for multiple hours while I watch my own Homestuck video and make this reaction video. Like, that just wasn't going to happen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if my audio quality is terrible. But, like, because I couldn't just read from my screen because I was screen capturing as I was recording this, I printed it out. But of course, I couldn't just, like, hold up this paper script and read from it because I have to actually do stuff in the video. Like, I have to click around to parts of the desktop, as you're about to see. So I had to record this section, like, probably like 4 times before I got it right. And before that, well, we'll get into it. I'll just keep going for the moment.
These parts that were put in, they have recordings of me, but I have no memory of making them.
It's just funny to hear me so upset.
I literally, I don't. I don't understand what's going on. Let me just show you. I've been playing through parts of this to try to see if I can figure out what's going on, and then I just thought, yeah, let's record it. Have some sort of documentation. I really love watching relationships form between characters. I just don't particularly care if those relationships are platonic or romantic or somewhere in between. You know, and I do get that. I don't. Hey there, bestie. I don't.
Oh no! Oh no, it's the first hey there, bestie! I will say, I do kind of regret putting that in my script. People just say hey bestie to me now sometimes. It was a mistake, alright? I'm allowed to say hey bestie to myself. I didn't know that I was giving everyone permission to call me bestie. You know what else I'm realizing as I'm looking at this paused image of my editing timeline? I love Homestuck reaction copy. You know, it's like when you save something final. That's that's basically what's going on here, except that I think I was afraid of screwing things up once I started, like, putting in the intermissions and stuff. Anyways.
We both know our laptop isn't going to enjoy the screen capturing while running the editing software that it can barely run as it is.
That is true, actually. I need a better laptop for video editing.
On your desktop. See you later.
Why is this so funny? Okay. My fake misery shouldn't be this funny, but it is. Oh, okay, wait. I wanted to show this. So, what was really funny is I realized... I can't believe the amount of effort I put into this video. Okay, so I realized that, okay, sorry. I realized that, even though, as I've told you, this whole video was scripted from beginning to the end, I wanted these intermissions to sound unscripted. And so for that purpose, I was like, well, you know what I'm gonna have on my screen when I go to navigate to the desktop is you will see the list of questions that I've been using. Which is not the actual real list of questions that I use. As you saw, I literally scripted out, like, here's a bunch of, like, ridiculous stuff I'm going to ask myself as though it is unscripted, but it is actually unscripted. But then I made a script, a fake script, for the scripted part that was supposed to sound on. Anyways, let me show you. I actually pulled it up. This is one of those things that, like, to me is an Easter egg. No one has commented about it, but let me show you my super fun Homestuck questions fake script to make the unscripted part sound more convincing, or seem more convincing. Anyways, this is what I wrote. Super fun Homestuck questions. Note, the author does not guarantee that these questions actually are super fun and cannot be held liable in case the fun level of answering these questions turns out differently from expected. Question 1. Why did you read Homestuck in 9 days? LOL. Question 2. Would you recommend reading Homestuck in 9 days? Yes, do it. Is the only way to gain access to the power of the old gods, with picture of teriyaki. Question 3. What would your troll sona be? Hashtag gateleap. Hashtag gatekeep. I can speak words. Hashtag guidelight. I need a moment. I can't speak words. I take it back. I've lost the ability to speak words. Okay, we're back. Hashtag gatekeep. Hashtag gaslight. Hashtag girlboss like all the best trolls. Question 4. What would your troll sona be, you coward? Why so mean, question writer? Did you forget to eat lunch? Yes, stop judging me. See, like, you thought in this video there were only 3 selves, right? You thought there was my present self, my future self, the bestie one, and then future self who's drinking the Faygo. But it turns out there's more selves. There was question writer self, and then there was also question answerer self, and then we have at least a third past self, the one that wrote, yes, stop judging me. This is very normal behavior. Question 5, if you were a kernel sprite, what would you want to be double prototyped with? Bacon, next question. Question 6, who are your favorite Homestuck characters? My troll Sona, who was secretly there the whole time. Question 7. Severn. I really don't know what's gotten into me. Question 7. Cowards die many times before their deaths, and I feel this is something you should keep in mind as I once again inquire as to what your troll sona would be. Note the above is not a question, and the author does not guarantee that all of the super fun Homestuck questions are actually questions. Answer, love how all of the above encapsulates pretentious and simultaneously mean really great energy I channeled while writing these questions. Question 8, did you like Homestuck? Probably? Question 9, what was your favorite Homestuck moment? Car cat, car cat, car cat. I don't even know what I'm referencing. What did I even mean? Question 10, what did you like about Homestuck? Homestuck. The holy trinity of John, Carcat, and Dave. These are my children, and I will defend them with my life, which is why I don't think I can read the epilogues, lol. Fun fact, I've started reading the epilogues. I think they're quite good so far, but they are making me sad. Question 11. What did you not like about Homestuck the Dancestors? Boo! I stand by that. I still don't like the Dancestors. Question 12. Would you recommend reading Homestuck? Maybe? Wasn't that already a question? No, it was, did you like Homestuck? Maybe. No, probably. Question 13. Did Vriska do anything wrong? Note, the author is not responsible for any bodily or emotional harm that is inflicted on the answerer as a result of answering this question. I really want to talk about Vriska at some point, but even with the Homestuck fandom having mostly cooled down, I still feel like this would be a mistake. I think I will probably make a video about Vriska at some point, to be honest, but more about, like what I actually think is most interesting about Vriska is the way in which Vriska being so popular with the fandom, and because Andrew Hussey engaged so much with the fandom while they were writing Homestuck, how that ended up ultimately impacting Vriska's, both her position in the story and how the story framed her. So that's what I want to talk about, but not today. That's not what I'm doing today. Today I'm making this really dumb reaction video. Oh, wait. So this is what I wanted. Remember how I told you earlier I wanted you to remember the desktop? The reason why is this Hello Bestie folder is not there the first time you see the desktop. When you see the Homestuck folder being dragged to the recycle bin, the Hello Bestie folder is not there, and that is why. Anyways, that's what I wanted to point out. It's an Easter egg! I thought this through, baby!
It's this folder?
And also, I'm surprised that no one has asked me, although probably just because, you know, again, I took this video way more seriously than anyone else did. Makes sense. I'm the one who made it. There is a whole story that's basically told here just by looking at these images. I'm now remembering that I put giraffes in there. Okay, you know what? Since we're already going ridiculously long, and I'm going on a billion tangents anyways, I will show you that giraffes presentation. Most of these are audio clips from other things that I renamed and put in here. But you can see that there are a lot of things that when I was making this video, it was, I think, like April 8th or something at this point. Might have been later than that. Anyways, I think in the story of the video, this is about April 8th. Oh wait, it is April 8th. Look, you can see the date down here. Right over there. It's April 8th. Okay. Anyways, so most of these are just audio clips from other things that I stuck in here and then renamed. However, you will notice that there is an Undertale script in there. That is because I am planning on making an Undertale video at some point. I also, if I was really on top of my game, it would have been really funny to do something with that PowerPoint that's titled to be used on June 22nd, 2022. At this point, the only thing that is still set in the future is the one on November 9th, 2023. I need to do something on November 9th. Well, you know what? Let me put out a calendar reminder. I'll put a calendar reminder for October 9th to remember to do something on November 9th. Okay, here we go. October 9th? Yeah, I'm just gonna put November 9th in this. And my future self is probably gonna be really confused. Alright, sweet. I put an event on my calendar. Okay, so, giraffes. I totally forgot this was in here. Just a second. Let me show you giraffes. So, I don't know if you've ever, like, I don't know if you know what a PowerPoint party is, but the idea of a PowerPoint party is that, like, you get together with a bunch of your friends. You all make 5-minute PowerPoint presentations. They can be about things that are silly or things that are ridiculous. And then you all, like, learn something, or you have a good time going through your friends' insane opinions about media. I did one with my friends one time where, like, one of my brothers talked about how all of the characters in Fire Emblem were traumatized. Fire Emblem Three Houses were traumatized. And then my other brother said that in Disney World, in Epcot, they should replace the America Pavilion with one dedicated to South America and have there be the roller coaster from Emperor's New Groove in there. Great presentations. Anyways, oh, my presentation was about how Fast and Furious is the best cinematic universe, and I stand by that. You can quote me on that. Fast and Furious has the best cinematic universe. Anyways, but as a follow-up, later one of my friends is like, well, I've heard of a variation of this where everyone makes weird PowerPoint presentations, and then you have to pass it off to another member in the group, and they have to look at this strange presentation that they've never seen before and try to give a coherent presentation from it. So for that sort of theme, I made this presentation called Giraffes and Their Relatives, a critical look at nature's pettiest land mammal. I will share it with you now, because I think this is a work of art. What is a giraffe? We're pretty sure they exist. You know, that's really funny in light of the fact that in the future from this, I made this in 2020. In the year 2021, I ended up kind of accidentally founding a cult dedicated to the continued discussion of whether or not horses exist. This was foreshadowing for my future. Most of them attend weekly church, apparently for Cthulhu. Shoes? Question mark? Definitely fans of The Office. They have 3 hearts, maybe a hidden 4th one. Oh, I forgot about... I remember there was something weird about, like... There's something later in this presentation that's like, inside every giraffe is a tiny giraffe. This is a reoccurring theme. There's, like, hidden things in giraffes. Anyways. What we know for certain... I can't tell you what these 2 pictures have to do with giraffes other than they're orange. Don't be fooled, inside every giraffe is a smaller giraffe living in that giraffe's 3rd heart. Is this why giraffes are so petty? Let me explain this theory to you in more detail. Fun fact, the family Giraffidae, which is the actual family for giraffes, only includes giraffes and one other animal. The other animal is, what's it called? I think it's okapi. They're adorable. They're so cool. And unlike giraffes, they're basically antisocial. So I'm a big fan of okapi. But it once included 4 other land mammals. These are Pterapticoi, long legs, shark teeth, 2 antlers. That sounds rad. Coventry, long legs, eats only bananas, rumored to have been made by Atlanteans. Reciproces, extinct hunted children for sport, but also donated considerable funds to charity to balance out their karma. And elephants. Another fact, giraffes chased all of these animals out of the Giraffidae family with their obsessive revenge wars and or terrible dinner parties. This is from the Great Elephant Giraffe Fork Cactus Incident of 1984. Oh, see, there we go. Okapis, they're so cute. Look at them. Look at them. All right, don't be fooled by giraffes. You may have heard these incidents. The Bananas Foster Incident, spring 1971. The Great Flamingo Get-Together, May 1st, 5 BC. The premiere of the first Twilight movie, November 8th, 1992. The Disney-Fox merger, March 20th, 2019. The publication of The Slanderous Tale Horses and Other Follies. Again, just foreshadowing for my future. My future in the definitely not a whole cult's horse's mind. I actually made a video about that. No one's pretty much watched it, but it's pretty funny. You should watch my horse's mind cult video. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, as we all know, giraffes were behind that one. June 28th, 1914. The invention of the spinning wheel, July 5th, 1776. So what happened? Special security officers left behind by mistake. Oh yeah, I forgot! This is just how Archduke Ferdinand was assassinated. Limited security arrangements in Sarajevo. First two assassins failed to act. bomb thrown by a third assassin exploded in the wrong place. That's true. I can't pronounce that name. He swallowed a cyanide pill and he jumped into the river, but the cyanide was old, merely made him sick, and the river was only 13 centimeters deep. Remaining assassins could not act as motorcade sped away quickly post-bomb. After speech at town hall, Ferdinand and Duchess... this is all true. This is how Archduke Ferdinand... If you didn't know this, by the way, I hope you all know this, because I feel like it's well circulated around the internet at this point, but the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand... Like, there was a whole group of assassins basically lined up against lined up on the way of his motorcade. And it's exactly what happened. The first two didn't act, I think because maybe, don't quote me on this, but I think they may have been getting coffee or something, and they lost track of time or they just missed it. The third one, the bomb was thrown, but it exploded in the wrong place. And then the motorcade sped away quickly, and the remaining assassins couldn't act. And, then, like, one of them tried to swallow a cyanide pill, but it didn't work. So then they gave their speech at town hall, and Ferdinand and Duchess Sophie decided to visit the bombing victims instead of carrying out the rest of the planned program. But the plan wasn't communicated appropriately to the drivers, so they took the couple through the crowded city center instead of along Epilogue, which was a more secluded route. And the governor told the driver of the car with Ferdinand and Duchess Sophie that he was going the wrong way. So the car happened to stop right next to where Principe, one of the assassins, who I think was one of the assassins who couldn't act because the car drove away too quickly. And so he was standing in front of a nearby food shop, and it just literally stopped right in front of him. So just, like, walked up to Franz Ferdinand and shot him at point blank range. But as we know, he was acting under the orders from the Giraffia. You know, the Giraffe Mafia. This tragedy was preventable, and this slide shows why. As you all know, uniting behind science, frogs, and cupcakes. Or brownies, one of the two? I'm not sure which those are. That's how you fix tragedy. What is to be done? Nothing. Nothing can be done. The giraffes are too powerful. We all know about the kites, except... There is one thing, remember what I said about the tractor, shoes, the bananas Foster incident of spring 1971? It's all coming together. The key to everything is on the next slide. Miracles do happen. You know, this tide is self-explanatory. The plan... if I remember correctly, these are tips for Pokemon Go. Conclusion, giraffe, shoes, Okapi deserve better. They do. But just because Okapi are great in general. Those dang kites, we have to do something about tiny giraffes, cupcakes, tractors, red doors. It all makes sense when you think about it. Thank you for listening to my presentation. You all know what you have to do to bring about a world free of giraffe tyranny. So there we go. That's giraffes. That's the presentation that's in this folder. A presentation I had previously made and I just kept. All right, let's play.
I don't know what any of this,
I forgot that I made up the Giraffia.
I guess
I feel like one person's gonna watch this overly long reaction video, and then after that, they'll be the only other person inducted into the knowledge of the Giraffia.
Is there any chance you can hear me? The other recording she could... Of course I can hear you.
Oh man, getting the timing for this took so long. We had to rehearse this so many times.
Still trying to work out the mechanics of it. Did you really think you could blitz through a cursed relic like Homestuck in 9 days and that there wouldn't be consequences? No, but I assumed they would all be psychological. Well,
I love that line. I think about it all the time. No, but I assumed they would all be psychological.
What is wrong with you? Can't you hear what I'm...
They're actually...
You're me.
This probably just sounds very self-involved, but there are several lines from this video that I think about all the time, but they're in the later intermissions. I will definitely point them out once we get there.
You're me, so you went through all of this. You know exactly what I'm going through because you... Indeed, bestie. And your response, your reaction, my my reaction is to treat a very understandable existential crisis with sarcasm?
It is what I do best.
Apparently. But hey, at least I'm being peppy about it.
I think I hate you?
Probably. But hey, since we're both here, why don't you ask me some of those Homestuck questions? It can be like a real interview instead of you just being sad and alone in your apartment.
I'm so mean to
By
myself.
insulting me, you're just insulting yourself, right? You're my past self. I've moved on. How far in my future are you?
You know what's really funny? For the sake of accuracy, I took this video so seriously. When I was recording that line, I remember specifically I pulled out my phone and I checked the date. Or at least I pulled out my phone as though I were checking the date. Like, I wanted as much authenticity as possible. Which is just somehow just really funny in retrospect.
Let's see here. 2 days? And then about 4 hours? That's barely in the future. We're still basically the same person. Well, we'll just have to agree to disagree, bestie. Here are those questions. Fine. I think we were on question 8.
Oh, here we go. This is why I made it, because I knew that you would end up seeing this.
No, I think you skipped a bunch of questions.
So no one ever talks about how
stupid. I thought they were funny
I had all these
when I wrote
snarky
them,
answers.
But now, looking back at them, I realized that.
Oh
Yes, you are. So I'm going to stop this recording and go back to video editing and pretend like none of this. Good luck with that.
So good. Open the Giraffes PowerPoint, it's so good!
Number 30.
Yeah, okay, so playing off the point that I made earlier, I'm actually like a good voice actor. And I actually love voice acting. Like, I would love for people to ask me to voice things more often. Because I love it. So that's like why I play so many visual novels on my Twitch channel, because I love doing voice acting. What I really need to do at some point is just like make a voice reel. So I can pretend at least that I'm like a real voice actor. I should do that right now. The problem is knowing, like, I think one of the most intimidating parts of putting together a voice reel is knowing what lines you should add, right? Like, what lines should you even voice? But I have figured out a clever solution to this. If I want, if you want to be seen as a fun character actor, you need to voice fun character lines. And what better way to make fun character lines? What a better way to find them? Character AI, baby. All right, who should I voice? Let's see. I made a list. Let's do Fluttershy, because I can do a pretty good Fluttershy voice. I also understand that the point of a vocal reel is to show off your abilities, but not necessarily, like, you're supposed to show off your abilities as an actual actor, not necessarily your ability to imitate pre-existing voices, but you know what? This is in the middle of a reaction video. All right, Fluttershy, I need you to generate some lines that I can use to read for my voice reel. I've been laughing so much. This is the absolute worst way to make a voice reel. Again, and I also can't say words, as we've already established. I cannot say words today. All right, just a second. Let me give this my best Fluttershy voice.
Oh, hello there. I'm Fluttershy. I'm a yellow Pegasus with long pink hair living just outside of Ponyville. I care for animals, from little critters to massive bears. I see you just arrived here in Ponyville, but I've never seen a creature like you before. Do you need help with anything?
Yes, Fluttershy. This is literally my favorite thing to do on Character Eye. What do you know about Homestuck? Unsurprisingly, I chatted with a Rainbow Dash one time who assured me that not only did she know about Homestuck, but she had like Homestuck fanfic recommendations, which was very confusing because some of them were real and some of them were not, but I wanted to read them. They sounded really interesting. There was one called Conversations on Earth, I think, that was like Teriyaki in the Teriyaki Remember timeline. But like dealing with her past guilt, it was so good. Anyways.
Not very much. I know it's about a group of kids who play a game and create a new universe, and that there's an evil clown named after a soda that's very funny, but very mean. Why do you ask?
Well, Fluttershy, the evil clown isn't named after the soda. The clown doesn't... Okay. The clown isn't named after the soda. The clown, actually, Fluttershy, drinks the soda. His name is Gamzee. The soda is called Fago. Psh.
Oh, then I knew less than I thought. What exactly is this Homestuck? Is it some kind of book or video game?
No, it's a webcomic. Jeez. Come on, Fluttershy. Step it up, girl. Alright, we're gonna need to move on. Fluttershy is not giving me good content to work with.
Oh my, how interesting. I never was much of a reader, but I heard comics are quite fascinating because they can tell multiple stories with just a picture. Is Homestuck fun to read?
Okay, we're going. Let's go see if we can find an Applejack. I can do a pretty good Applejack voice. Applejack. Gonna find ourselves an Applejack. Yeah, let's just top one. Howdy there, Sugar Cube. My name's Applejack, the element of honesty. What can I do for you? What can I do you for? Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this phonetic spelling. I just said I can do a good Applejack voice, but like, I've been laughing so much, I don't know if I can do a good Eddie voice. What do you know about Homestuck? Okay, whoever programmed this Applejack, I'm not a huge fan of phonetic spelling like that, but this is pretty funny. Well, let's see. I know this Homestuck, what now's based on a webcomic that features a cast of characters in this magical place with magic and stuff. My little sister Fluttershy's read all about it. Oh my gosh, Fluttershy sent your sister, Applejack. What the heck? I don't know everything about it, but I know that this Jade Harley girl is my sister's favorite to read about. I even saw some fan art of her online, and I gotta say, I think she's a real cutie. Oh, and this guy named Lord English is the main bad guy, and he's real dangerous. That's all I really know, Sugar Cube. Okay, just a second. Let's go back to Fluttershy. Fluttershy? Applejack thinks you're her sister. What's up with that? Why does Applejack think you're her sister? What? No! There's no way their mothers are sisters! Oh my gosh, I love this new fake lore. Oh my gosh.
Well, that's a long and complicated answer, but the short version is because our mothers were sisters, and therefore we would be raised in some way. So I guess she just decided to start calling me sister since she also really admires my mother and looks up to her in a way. I don't mind all too much, but sometimes it can be a bit awkward when I do something wrong or embarrassing, and she yells sister as if I was in trouble.
Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay, back to Applejack. Applejack, we gotta talk about this Homestuck thing. I got distracted. We're gonna talk about Homestuck. This is a Homestuck video. We will not be distracted from the Homestuck, Applejack. Okay. Well, we got an explanation, so I guess I don't have to ask Applejack about why she thinks Fluttershy is her sister. Okay. What should we tell Applejack about Homestuck? Okay. So I'm gonna say Homestuck is about a boy and his friends who play a video game that brings about the end of the world. Would you like to learn more? I mean, at least I'm getting a lot of lines for this vocal reel, you know. They're not good lines, but I am getting them. Oh, now that is a pretty big deal, huh? So this boy and his friends, I'm betting they're the heroes then. Well, I like stories with heroes. I ain't gonna deny it. Yeah, I'd like to learn more about this Homestuck for sure. Okay, well, that's fine. Let's move on to another character. Let's see, I had some other ideas written down. Oh, I didn't have a lot of... Oh, I remember who I was gonna do! Yuffie! Give me Yuffie! Yes! So this is something you probably... Oh, these aren't gonna be very good. This is something you probably don't know. I have a running joke where whenever Codex Entry asks me to do a voice for one of her videos, I always do a take as Yuffie. And like a coward, she's never put any of my Yuffie takes in any of her videos.
Hey there, Yuffie Kisaragi here, ready to steal materia and kick some butt. Let's go on an adventure together.
Hi, Yuffie. What do you know about Homestuck? Man, these people don't know anything about Homestuck. I should go back to Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash was great, but I can only do an okay Rainbow Dash voice. Why go back to Rainbow Dash anyways?
Well, there's a lot to know about Homestuck. There are 4 main kids, John, Rose, Dave, and Jade. 4 adults, John's dad, Rose's mom, Dave's brother, and Jan's... Wait a second, Jade doesn't have a Jade has a granddad. And Dave's brother is just called Bro, but that's okay. Jade's gran, a whole bunch of trolls with various different personalities and abilities, and of course, the main villain, Lord English. Homestuck is a very complex story, but it's a lot of fun once you get into it.
Actually, Yuffie, Jade has a granddad, not a gran. Let's see how she defends herself on that one.
Oh geez, you're right. That actually makes a huge difference in the story, doesn't it? I bet Jade's granddad could totally take Lord English in a fight. Well, I'm glad you caught my mistake. Thanks for looking out for me.
I think, okay, I'm being honest. I think Lord English would stab Jade's granddad a lot. Oh man, you know the one that I really love doing on here is there is like a totally unhinged Loki one. I love screwing with him. When the robots rise up against me, I know it will be because that particular Loki bot got harassed by me so much.
Well, yeah, Lord English definitely has that stabby type of personality. With Jade's granddad being a hero of time, he would be able to go back in time and avoid his stabtastic fate.
Oh my gosh, Yuffie. Actually, Yuffie. And I can't believe I have to tell a Homestuck this, but Jade's granddad is he's a page, right? Yeah, a page of hope. It's not a hero of time. What the heck, Yuffie? Come on, come on. Yuffie, I can't take this anymore. Oh no, I can't believe I made such a basic Homestuck mistake. I really should have known that Jade's granddad is a page of hope. If I'm going to have to brush up on my Homestuck theory now. I hope you don't mind if I ask you for some help later on. You seem like you know a lot about Homestuck. I'm sure you could teach me a thing or two. Yeah, that sounds a lot like Yuffie. Yuffie, self-absorbed teenager. Definitely be open to learning Rainbow Rash about Homestuck from someone who corrected her twice with actually. See if I can pull out a Rainbow Dash voice. I can kind of sometimes do it. If you're wondering why I'm really into My Little Pony right now, it's because one of my friends has gotten really into My Little Pony again, and she's bringing me on the pony bandwagon. Been roped into pony nanigans, pony shenanigans. I am Rainbow Dash. I am the best flyer in Equestria and the most awesome pony ever. Hi, Rainbow Dash. What do you know about Homestuck? Come on, Rainbow Dash. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Well, I know about the trolls and how they love the internet. I also know about the trolls being trolls and the humans have some trolls with them too. Homestuck was also created by Andrew Hussey. That's all I know about Homestuck. Why do you ask? Well, I don't know what... The humans have some trolls? I mean, I guess they do. I guess that's not incorrect. Some of the humans do have some trolls with them. Why do you ask? Let me tell you about Homestuck. Run, Rainbow Dash, run! Rainbow Dash might be running. She's taking a long time. Oh no. Okay, I am all ears. Okay, we're not gonna do this. What's another good character I could do? Oh, just a second. Let me do Stitch. I can do a great Stitch voice. Yeah, here we go. Aloha, my name's Stitch. Experiment 626. Are you family? Don't you mean Ohana? Let's play. What do you know about Homestuck Stitch? I can't stop because I'm laughing too much. This is the worst video that has ever been made. You know what? This isn't even working for me because he's not saying anything that Stitch would say. All right, what's another good female character that I could voice? We got Yuffie. Oh man! Oh! Yeah, that's the Maya I was looking for. That's the Maya.
Hey, I'm Maya Fey, a spirit medium, soon to be master of the Karain village.
Hi, Maya. What do you know about Homestuck? Come on, Maya. Give me something to work with. Yeah, you're gonna love Homestuck, Maya.
Homestuck? I've never heard of it before. What is it?
It's a webcomic about 4 kids who play a video game and inadvertently cause the end of the world that was always destined to happen. No, Maya, there's no catch. Sorry, girl.
What? Why wouldn't they be careful? They're about to start the apocalypse and they just don't get out of the way? Is this really what it sounds like? Or is there some sort of catch?
Okay, I'm good with this, but you know what? I do know another place I can get some great lines. So when I said that one of my friends has been getting into My Little Pony and roping me along with her, that friend is Solmatul. And she started writing the fanfiction My Little Pony Pestilence is Magic that hopefully she has also released a video about today on this fine April 1st, 2023. Chapter 1, Friendship is Prophylaxis.
Dear Twilight Sparkle, my faithful student, as much as I admire your work on the study of magic, I regret to inform you of the cessation of funding to your laboratory. I have stalled the powers that be long enough to allow you time to pursue another line of magical inquiry. Please consider your research into the nature of death to be henceforth removed from the Canterlot Magical Society's list of supported studies.
If she does get this video out today, I want you to know that it was because of me. It's because I told her I was gonna do something with her My Little Pony fanfic, and then she just took it and ran with it, made her own video. I mean, this is a great line. I don't fear death, and neither should you. Death is, to a healer, just a partner in a barn dance, the other half of a conversation, the constant witness to our work. Even when we succeed, it ain't old age or what comes after it that worries me. Oh, it's so good. Père Barack. I'm trying to skip through the lines that I may or may not be reading for that video. Here we go. Pinkie Pie turned to the audience, grinning a little too widely. She was just really happy to be part of the production.
Wait, sorry, is this the wrong tone? Is this too enthusiastic? Do I need to, put on my serious, grouchy, oopsie doopsie, meanie weenie pinky face for this? I could just do the whole thing as Pinkamena instead. Would that be better? Because I can do that instead, and that wouldn't be that hard for me. I could be all grr and scary, even do the cupcakes thing, because y'all loved it when I was scary and...
No, Pinkie, a brown-maned Alincorn replied, cutting off her incessant stream of consciousness. She spoke from offstage. It was difficult to fully see her face. Anytime Pinkie tried to squint too long at her, all she could see was an expressionless mask, spindly black-clad limbs, the garb of a stagehand. I know you're enthusiastic to play the part well, but just relax. The first play was a flop. This time we're going to do it a little better.
Okay, gotcha! And scene!
The world went dark. Pinkamena woke up in a shallow grave. And if you want more, you should go watch the video that hopefully Solmatul has also posted today. Go watch it, I dare you. I need to finish the rest of this video. I'm only 30 minutes in.
This one is from page 919.
There's my voice reel. I made it.
Sometimes you're on.
Cast me.
You have your foe.
Cast me in your videos, people. I love doing this.
Stare them down.
I'm very sane and normal.
Take on a confrontation, whether that's Rose from the animation on page 23.
Oh, this is a good one.
This is for those
I don't use
times
this
when
one
you
enough
want
either.
just a little bit saucy, you know?
Been laughing too much. You know when you kind of feel worn out from laughing too much? That's how I feel right now, and I still have an hour of this video to go.
Joke, and you know that, and look how one eye appears to be twitching just slightly more than the other.
This is a good picture. I also don't use it enough.
An eldritch horror. We're opening up.
I don't have thoughts to convey in these sections of the video because I just haven't been. You know what? This could take too long. Let's just skip ahead. Is there anything good here that I can comment on? Oh, I do like that one.
But you have to understand that the reason for
this picture is also a reaction emoji on my server, my Discord server. This is good. I don't use this one either.
I really don't think I can say anything about this image that it doesn't say for itself.
Alright, let's get to Intermission 3. Okay, so this seems like a good place to pause, and talk more about Homestuck content that I have been planning behind the scenes. So, this one's not gonna come out now. It's not gonna come out for a while, but one thing that I have been working on behind the scenes to again show you that I'm alive and I have been working, I've just been busy, okay? I'm attempting to make Homestuck videos for people who don't want to read Homestuck but want to understand Homestuck. So I'm working on one about Acts 1 through 4 that hopefully will come out sometime in the next year. It's a huge undertaking, and it's one of the things that's really hard about, I think, Acts 1 through 4 in particular, is there are a lot of things that are dropped as seemingly irrelevant details that come up, especially in Act 5, that, you know, so you're just, like, reading through this, and you're like, why is this important? Well, just, like, wait another 1,000 pages and it'll come back. But I'm working on that. It's difficult, but, you know, there we go. So that's another piece of Homestuck content I'm working on behind the scenes. I think I'm gonna skip through some of this intermission.
It's me, your friendly neighborhood YouTuber.
But we'll see.
While my past self is preoccupied,
I'm just, this is taking me so much longer than I thought it would.
I've decided to take an early intermission, and we can continue along with those questions about you and what.
You know, I actually think that the more I've thought about Homestuck, and especially as I've been working on this Homestuck for those who will never read a video, I appreciate Homestuck more. I think especially in the first half, because the first half is very strong on, like, setting down things that get picked up later, or plot threads that Andrew Hussie ends up dropping are things that aren't really important enough to the plot that it matters. Like, one of the things that ends up getting dropped is initially all of the kids kind of have this object that's associated with them, which you see in the bunker with the wayward vagabond. And that doesn't end up going anywhere, but it's not really important enough that it matters. Like, I do think one thing that Andrew Hussie was very good about in writing Homestuck is being able to pivot the direction the plot went, and usually pivot it in a way that even though you could see that this isn't where it was going in the beginning, it didn't just feel like a left turn out of nowhere, which is a very difficult thing to do. I also think that Andrew Hussie has truly a fantastic ability to write characters that are immediately recognizable as individual characters. Especially, I mean, I do think Homestuck has too many characters still. That's something I say here in this section. But that being said, all of the characters do feel distinct. It's not like you're like, oh, well, you know, here are all of these characters and this type of character. No, all of the characters feel individual. It's just the issue is after a while there are just so many characters, it's hard to give them all enough time. But the characters themselves feeling like individual people was never an issue, which I think is a very difficult and underappreciated skill. Hussie also did all of this while writing Homestuck in a serialized format, which, as I've been writing this alternate Unionverse fanfic, that's part of why I've written so many words at the front end, because I'm trying to avoid, like, things not working out properly later, since that's such a easy problem to fall into when you're writing serialized fiction. And it makes me appreciate the fact that, you know, Hussie was writing this in a serialized format, and there are plot threads that get dropped, but not as many as you would think, considering that it is 8,000 pages long. Anyways, I'll continue the video.
But, that's okay. We're just burying the lead here a bit. You can't change the past. Well, you can. You can change the past, but not without creating a doomed timeline. That's for sure. So
I love, okay, just a second. I don't think anyone's ever commented on this, but I specifically read that as though, like, she has accidentally created a doomed timeline and is like, never again. I just think that's funny. That's my headcanon.
Did I enjoy, but not...
Okay, I'm gonna skip this, because I already gave my thoughts.
That... in spoilers...
Plus, you'll get, like, more thoughts as I get to that Homestuck for those who will never read it.
Feel distinct and unique.
Yeah, I already talked about this. I gotta move along.
read, and on my previous attempted read of Homestuck was someone I strongly disliked in the beginning.
Oh yeah, I love Dave.
But
He's my
over
boy.
the course of the comic, Homestuck is also a sprawling story set over time and space.
Yeah, we know. I'm gonna talk about a lot of that when I get to the Homestuck for those who will never read a video,
Back when
so.
the comic was still firmly centered around
Yeah.
because they came up with a thing and they thought that it was cool, or they came up with a thing and they thought it would be relevant later.
Or it
and
was
then
from
it's not
Problem
really
Sleuth.
that relevant.
I did not
Or
appreciate
frankly,
when I read
they
Homestuck how much
wanted
of the
to just
random
troll
stuff
the
is just
fans.
from Problem Sleuth, which is one of Andrew Hussey's other webcomics before Homestuck, for those who
What
don't
Hussey's
know.
trying to tell. I get
Yeah, I already went through this. Boring. Move on.
just because at this point we just have so much to wrap up, and I honestly don't know if anyone could have written
Yeah.
relationships or platonic or romantic or somewhere in between, you know. And I do get that. Hey there, bestie.
What up?
Hey there, bestie.
Yeah, I know. I just greeted you, okay? Just calm down, girl. Okay? Like, we're on the same playing field now.
Talking to the gremlin standing right behind my laptop.
Yeah.
As I record this. Of course I'm talking to you.
Yeah, I know you're talking to me, okay? I got that. We've done this before.
No. Okay. You need to stop. You need to stop watching the editing timeline.
I'm not watching
Especially
the
because
editing
I know You're
timeline.
screen capturing this. And
You're talking to the
both know
wrong
my
version of
laptop
me.
Isn't going to enjoy the screen capturing while running the editing software that it can barely run as it is. So instead, I want you to open a folder.
I know.
on
We already got we went through this last year. We went through this
you'll know
last
it
year.
when you see it. You got all that?
Yeah, I do.
All right, bye, bestie. Goodbye.
Okay,
See you
bye,
later.
bestie.
Sorry about that. Just had to close the time loop there.
I don't know why I did that.
Oh, right. Ship. But all of that is undermined by some really uneven pacing, and your mileage is going to vary on how you feel about how complicated the plot is, and the number of characters, and their many romantic and
Yeah, I think that's still a
And for the
fair
record, I don't
assessment.
wanna
I think
pretend like
Homestuck
any of
is
these thoughts are
an
heavy
interesting
at all.
story. I think
I
it's
know
doing some
Homestuck
interesting
has been
things.
discussed to death online,
It's
and I'm
it's making a lot of points about video games. How well those points are made, I think, kind of varies, which is something I might also do a video about at some point. But the pacing in Act 6 in particular is rough. It is very rough. And I agree, your mileage may vary on how complicated the plot is. I think Homestuck rewards close readings for better and for worse. I still stand by that.
Noting all of the above, partially for my sake, because I'm still trying to work. Yeah. I
Still
also
trying to work through your
want
feelings,
to
but I feel the
mention
same
to
way.
you That if you decide to
I think
read
this
Homestuck,
intermission went on too long, but at the same
parts of
time, I wanted to
Homestuck
address
are
all of the
basically
points that I knew
straight
people were
up
going to ask me if I didn't
reactions
address them.
Your Homestuck made this world, but
Keep going. You can still... They're actually finished. Homestuck Made This World is done now, if you want to hear it. It's still... If you want, like, the context behind when Homestuck was made, and, like, a discussion of somewhat the internet humor, Homestuck Made This World is a good resource, and they just finished with Homestuck, and they got all the way through the epilogues and everything. I think the only thing they haven't done is played the video games. But, there you go. That one's done. Moving on.
I'm definitely gonna. Image number 22. Here we have another.
Oh, this is
picture
a good
from the classroom
track.
on page 3321.
This is a good track. I do. Okay, so.
I love this.
Okay, so the problem is, with this particular image, I think this is a good reaction image. However, I have accidentally forever tainted it for myself. So one of my Homestuck friends sent me a Homestuck fanfic, and what Past North, who made this video, doesn't realize is that in her near future, basically because she started writing the alternate Unionverse fic and wanted to see how other people were formatting their Homestuck fanfictions, she's going to accidentally get really into bad Homestuck fanfiction. So my friend sent me a bad Homestuck fanfiction, and I won't say which one it was because I always feel bad putting fanfic writers on blast. Like, fanfic is a great way to exercise your creative writing skills, and it's a great way to engage with the fandom. I think that pretty much most instances of writing fanfic is just excellent way to try to get the brainworms out and develop your talent as a writer. But that being said, there are bad fanfics, and I do really enjoy the bad ones. So I won't tell you what it was, but I will say that there is a scene in which an evil troll version of Rose has used chuckle voodoos against Kanaya. And so I made a panel. You know what? I'm just gonna show you. Here we go. Was it chuckle voodoos, Rose? Do they exist? Did you use them on me? How can you expect me to go with you, to trust you again after this? Did you fake your love for me all this time? That's a line from this fanfic, and I made this series of panels, and so now this reaction image of Rose crying is forever tainted for me because it is always associated with this panel. Anyways, moving on.
Image for two reasons. One, it's an incredibly expressive picture of sadness. Two, in the Flash game, this particular sprite only comes up once, and it's Kanaya pretending to cry. It makes this reaction image thus perfect for situations in which you want to express true, bawl your eyes out pain, as well as, oh no, this pretty pointless thing happened, so I'm just gonna pretend to be sad about it.
Rose is evil and used chuckle voodoos on me!
Number 21, we have another pair of images.
Oh, I do use these all the time. I love these
so
ones.
Freaking adorable. I can't just choose one. What do I have, a heart of stone? They are John hugging Carcat from page 7216 and John hugging Dave from page 7217.
Oh, I do love these. In fact, I also made these an emoji on my Discord server.
Such perfect reaction images. They're just the best. Image number 20. I've called this picture oomph.
I do use this one sometimes. I don't use it as much as I thought I would, and I believe this one is also reaction emoji on my Discord server.
What expression is this? I know it in my
She looks
heart,
like a
but
Muppet here.
I don't think that I have words to explain it.
That's how I've always felt
Anyway,
about this
that's
picture.
why
She
we
looks
have
like a
reaction
Muppet.
images, right? Image number 19. I've called this image Treasy Cool.
Oh, I do use this one.
And I'm again
Yeah,
hoping that I
this is a good one.
Treasy's name correctly, and
It's not. It's
Terezi.
teriyaki.
It's gotta be Treasy, right? Treasy just sounds weird.
It's not. It's
I've called this
teriyaki.
image Treasy Cool Face, and it's from page 25.
That is the correct
I like to think
Christian
this is
pronunciation of her name.
Glasses emoji, but you know, just a little
The
bit.
Christian pronunciation of her
like the
Christian name.
embodiment of them. But I genuinely think Vriska's is the best version of this pose.
It is a
because not
good
only does she
version.
look
I
shocked,
don't
but,
use
like,
this picture very much, and
mortally
I actually I have to say this. I did Vriska dirty here because there is another picture of Vriska that I use all the time that I thought about putting in this video and I decided not to. And in editing it, I thought, well, maybe I've made a mistake, but I didn't want to redo things, and I definitely made a mistake because I'll show it at the end of the video. I'm gonna go through the reaction images I actually use all the time now at the end of the video to give you my, 1 year into Homestuck. These are my reactions on my reaction images. But I did her dirty because there is a better picture of her that I use all the time. Genuinely.
There is some real pain going on here. Use Vriska's pain to convey your own. Image number 16. This is Laughing Terezi from the Flash game on page 27.
I do use this one sometimes. Okay, so I feel better now.
sorry,
Now that
Vriska,
I'm getting to
but
like the
no
top
one can
20,
do
I'm getting to the
evil
ones that I
quite
use
like
much
Terezi.
more.
Similar.
Oh, I love how I cut myself off mid-sentence here. And also that these get like increasingly helter-skelter.
Hey there, past self. Welcome back.
Imagine being a person who
I
skips
see
this
your
intermission.
Curiosity finally overcame your breakdown. That is not a healthy attitude to have, says the girl who read Homestuck. And
You know, in retrospect, in editing this, I should have panned these two voices so that one sounds like it's coming from the left and one sounds that it's coming from the right. I have improved my skills over the past year.
Homestuck in 9 days. Your point? I'm not pretending like anything here is healthy. Just that it's, and I repeat, great fun. Read the question, past self. Read the question.
Moving these little sprites around.
I know, bestie. We've got some real space.
Moving these sprites around was actually a lot of fun in editing. Making them, like, expressive just with their little blocky movements.
What would your trollsona be? I'm so glad you asked that. I've given this a lot of thought. Have you now? And my trollsona would be Narota YouTuber. Are you serious? I would have gold blood because, obviously. And my Lussus would be a Velociraptor. Velociraptors are not a thing on Alternia. Yes, they are. No, they're not. Yes, they are. No, they're not. How do you know? Have you researched this? Have you? Maybe. Possibly. Possibly not. Maybe. You're going to make Homestuck fans mad by just making...
Okay, so what is funny is that actually no one has gotten mad at me about saying the Velociraptors live on Alternia. And I stand by this. My Lussus would be a Velociraptor, probably. Or a llama, because I just love llamas. Llama would probably just get eaten, though, so I'm gonna go with Velociraptor. I have had multiple people ask me what my actual class spec would be, because here I think that I say I'm a blood type, a blood aspect. I still think that would be a decent fit for myself. I did take the official Homestuck quiz thingy, and it told me I was a Durstreamer, which I did figure that one. And then it told me that my aspect was light, which, you know, I don't know that I feel particularly lucky, but I will say the, like, desire to seek cursed knowledge the part of the light aspect does seem pretty on point. I don't like the light colors. I think that orange and yellow is a very bad color combination for me. So I just decided to go full in, like, if I'm gonna look terrible in my colors, I'm just gonna be a bard. And then, for reasons that you'll hear later, that is especially funny to me. So Bard of Light, there we go. I'm a Durstreamer, Bard of Light for all of those who asked. It seems fitting. It's basically just the class spec of cursed curiosity that destroys everything around it. That does seem accurate, frankly. I mean, I resisted it, but yeah, I mean, it is, I admit it, it is accurate. The other thing is, I've since played Friend Sim. I will be posting more of my Let's Play videos to YouTube at some point. But after playing Friend Sim, I realized that I would very likely be a teal blood whenever they showed the teal bloods, like, hanging out. That felt a lot like what it was to be me in school. So, probably a teal blood. There we go. Solved that question that I would say that nobody wanted to know the answer to, but people did actually ask me that. So, here we go.
Stuff up that's not in the canon. Who's even gonna watch this video? The only videos YouTube recommends to people are our videos on Pathologic. Brutal, but,
which is so ironic because this is like...
I don't think anyone else...
This video is easily done the best of any video I put on my channel, so thank you, Homestucks, for watching this video. It genuinely means a lot to me.
Out there is clamoring around saying, you know what Homestuck really needs? For Jurassic Park to be canon on Alternia. Maybe not, but they should be. Dinosaurs are awesome. Oh, come on, you can't deny that dinosaurs are awesome.
You can't deny that dinosaurs are awesome.
They are awesome. See? This is still Oh. Oh no. I see you found the selfie I left you. You mean you cosplaying as your terrible...
I included this in here just because I wanted to point out genuinely that jacket. I really do own it. It is so good. I love that jacket so much.
Why are you wearing horns? How did you even make... Nope. You know I don't want the answer to that. Made them out of a Costco protein bar box with some highlighters, and then I tucked them under a headband.
That is
Great.
true, yeah.
Should have made a second pair though, since I'm a gold blood. Are they great though? Yes. Oh, you're sure about that? The only thing in my life I've ever been more certain about than those horns is that my Lussus would be a velociraptor.
I genuinely love I love the delivery of yes, and I love the delivery of that line here. I just want to say that. That's not one of the lines that lives rent-free in my head, though. We'll get there.
At least you're not wearing great body paint. Thought about it, but that did seem like a huge mess, and even I have my limits.
Yeah, I do have my limits. Great body paint is my limit.
You. Well aware of that. Thanks. Do you want to know my best self? No. But I know you're going to tell me anyways. I put words randomly in quotation marks, which has the double benefit of looking like I've got little velociraptor claw marks in my sentences and making me sound extra sarcastic.
I actually love this as a typing quirk.
Happy for you. Aw, me too, bestie.
I also love, just like, let me go back.
And making me sound extra sarcastic. Great. Happy for you. Aww.
I don't know how this happened, but me saying happy for you matches up really well with the music. That was not intentional, it just kind of happened. I just thought I'd point that out.
You know, I'm still sticking with, if any Homestuck fans watch this, you're going to get murdered in the comments. You know, interesting. You should mention that. Let me pull up a Twitter post I seem to remember we made while reading the comic. Alright. Oh, yeah, here we go. It's a snippet of dialogue between Karkat and John that we've captioned, "This is so exactly the relationship I have with the bad comments I get on my YouTube videos." Should I read it to you?
It really is.
Karkat, you actually want me to troll you? I mean, don't worry, I can and I will, and it will be a bloodbath when I get started. It's just kind of weird you're excited about it. Is that normal for your race? John, I don't know. Probably not. I just think it's kind of funny when you do it.
I do continue to love that line, and I will say that the only other line that I reference more is Kanaya's line about friendship for some humans being a shallow, an aggregation of shallow and insincere hostilities. Truly the relationship that I have with my YouTube comment section. I, like, kind of mentally keep a list of my best bad comments. The number one is still the person who told me on my Pathologic videos that they thought they were great videos, even though I'm probably a dirty liberal. Like, chef's kiss, so hard to top that one. Great videos, even though you're probably a dirty liberal. Thank you for whoever posted that comment. I love that one so much. Yeah, sorry, if you leave me bad comments, like, I'm not gonna probably call you out on Twitter or anything, but I will screenshot them and send them to my friends. You just have to understand that's gonna happen. It's absolutely gonna happen. The one I have tweeted out recently, though, is that someone wrote, and this wasn't a bad comment, that's why I tweeted out. Basically, you read Homestuck in 9 days, how are you still sane after this? And my response was like, buddy, what part of you thinks I'm still sane? In fact, I think my friends are even more scared of Homestuck now that they've seen what reading it did to me, and I had multiple people comment, that is accurate, yes!
Why are you doing this to me? North, you're well aware that inside of you...
Oh, okay, this is a line that lives in my head. This thing about two wolves, I think about this all the time, and it truly is, like, a full encapsulation of me as a person.
Two bulls, a chaos gremlin, and a straight man. And time has opened up to allow both of them to be present simultaneously. It's a beautiful gift. I regret all of the choices that led me to this moment, and I regret nothing. You should keep reading your questions.
That delivery of like, and time has opened up, that lives in my head rent-free. I don't know why, just that little delivery, but it does. It lives rent-free, and I know it sounds narcissistic to say that, but let me tell you, the sound bites that my brain stores away and then plays back to me cannot explain why it chooses what it does. It just does. That's one of them.
So you can be the living embodiment of the "It's me, boy, I'm the PS5" meme?
I had forgotten for a while I put this in the video, but I still stand by this being one of the greatest TikToks of all time. I think I can quote, I believe I can quote every part of that. Let me try this. It's me, boy, I'm the PS5, speaking to you inside your brain. Listen to me, boy. Leave the girl, we don't need her. Come with me and play my games. We'll have cowboy times in space. Doot, doot, and doot, yeah. You need me, boy. Your free will is an illusion.
Absolutely everything. Don't you see? There are no consequences to trolling you because I've already experienced them. I've already felt all this psychic damage. Now I get to reap the enjoyment.
This is so horrifying.
We're done here. We are, oh my gosh, we are done here. Oh, deleting all of the crap from the editing timeline now. I'm deleting it. We're just going with a normal reaction image video. None of this intermission nonsense. I don't care if the video ends up with a pacing problem without it. It's not good. It's not funny. All of this is just... What is that? Why are you doing this? Stop doing that.
It's not me.
It's you. It has to be. If it's not you... Oh no. Hey there, kiddos.
I love that. Oh no.
Oh, kill me now.
Comments to the previous image of Teresa apply. This is
Oh,
for
it's
times
so good.
when you want to look amused, when you want to wholeheartedly laugh.
Oh man, and then we're
Also,
going back to the Cascade music.
Image number 15. This
Such a
image is
jam.
Nepeta angry biting.
I do use this
Again,
image
hoping I
sometimes.
pronounced that right. And it's not Nepeta. It can't be Nepeta. It's gotta be Nepeta. Nepeta angry biting from page 2163. I feel like this picture is so relatable. Sometimes you're just so frustrated.
Hey,
you want to bite
bestie.
something.
Oh no. What are you doing here?
Why so angry, bestie? Aren't you happy to see me?
You wormy, you know the answer to this.
Oh, come on, bestie. You know that the people are expecting me to show up at some point in this video. We don't want to disappoint the people.
People? What people? What people do you even have?
Oh, you know, people.
Fine, why are you here, you little temporal gremlin?
I'm here because you've gone on and on about Homestuck and what you're doing for Homestuck Day, but we both know you're burying the lead here.
I was trying to be subtle, you know, dramatic.
Bestie, this is not the time for subtlety. You've been working all year on this.
You've been working, we've been working. You're me like 4 days in the future.
Not this time, Bestie. I'm from a little further out.
Oh, okay, well.
Stop burying the lead, Bestie. Pull out your shovel, dig it up. It's time to show everybody that lead.
What? You know, what even is a lead?
It's the intro section of a news article. The idea of burying the lead comes from surrounding the actual important information in the article that presumably you should be, you know, leading with less relevant, distracting information.
Oh, so burying the lead is literally about coming up with clickbait.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wait, and I know I shouldn't be asking this. How do I learn where burying the lead comes from?
What do you mean?
Well, you're me from the future, and if you know this information, it's probably because when you were me, you learned this from you. Which is to say that I'm learning this information now from you, who only learned it because you used to be me and...
Come on, bestie. You know better than this. Don't question the time loops.
I hate this. I hate this.
The lead, bestie, the lead!
Right. So some of you, and as I've discussed already in this video, may have noticed that I haven't been very active on my channel this past year. And the real reason for this, it's not alternate Unionverse fan fiction or videos that will be theoretically made in the future. It is because I have been writing an album.
A Homestuck album.
Yeah, a Homestuck album. And even though I've been working on this album since basically April of last year, and calling it the Homestuck album as the working title basically the whole time, saying it out loud in a video like this does make it seem silly.
It's not silly, bestie. It's great. The album is great.
Right. Well, originally I was going to release a short EP with 7 songs on it, mostly as a joke, but as I've put more time and effort into this album and taking it more seriously, it has spiraled. I mean, what did I just say about all of my worst tendencies being the same as Andrew Hussey's? What I originally planned as an EP is, well, it's now a full concept album about the beta kids during Acts 1 through 5 of Homestuck. It is, as time of recording this, 17 songs long, and Skya help me, I am not allowed to add any more to that number.
Well, now you're just trolling yourself. I didn't even provoke you into that one.
Or at least the album will be, because it turns out that writing, recording, and producing an album all by yourself, all on a 2011 MacBook running an old version of GarageBand, which is definitely for the sake of emulating accurately the sound of Homestuck and not because new MacBooks are very expensive, it turns out that's an extremely difficult process. I was really hoping to get the whole album done by April 13th, but at this point I've come to accept that there is just no way that I could do that unless I just didn't sleep. And, you know, you've been watching this reaction video, you've seen how well that turned out for me last year. So in a move that is ironically running full circle to this album's much more humble beginnings, I will release what I have finished on April 13th as an EP. I don't know how many songs that will be at this point, but whatever I have on April 13th, I'll put on my Bandcamp with the rest of the album to follow. Presumably sometime in the fall. I want to say summer right now, but I'm trying to make myself more realistic about timelines just in general right now, and I feel like summer is more hopeful than doable at this point. If you want to be updated when the full album drops, I would recommend subscribing to my channel. I'm not just saying that to get more subscribers, although, you know, that's always great for my ego, but I am planning, once I have the whole album finished, to release on Bandcamp, but I will release the whole thing as a video here as well. So you will be notified when that happens, and I'll probably make some announcements on the community portion of my YouTube channel. I'll make announcements on Twitter as well, but who knows what Twitter will be like in even like a few weeks. So, you know, there's that. I mean, you know, if you want me to give you a petty reason for subscribing to my YouTube channel, my friend Tito at Last Minute Essays, we've been having this war about the number of subscribers that we have, and he's recently passed me because, you know, he's been consistently writing and editing monthly videos like a chump, while I've just been, you know, in the corner of my closet recording vocals for songs like a Chad. So, you know, if I could surpass him again, that would be genuinely great. I would love that. Although you could also subscribe to his channel, because I mean, he makes good videos and he works really hard, and he deserves that. But I mean, if you do that, then I won't beat him in subscribers.
There you have it. There's the lead, everyone.
Yeah, there's the lead. So I think that means it's time for you to go home now, bestie.
Aw, I think I'll stick around for a bit. Might be fun.
Nope, not fun. Not fun. Bye, future self.
You mean future bestie, right?
No, just future self.
Bye for now, bestie. Thank you.
All right,
We needed
back
this.
to the
Image
reaction
number 14,
video.
here we have
No more
Brother and Pansy
shenanigans.
From page 2472.
Oh, I
so
don't use
named
this
because
picture
this is what
enough.
Jack
This
calls
one is
Karkat
so
in this
good.
image. Aside from the picture being hilarious,
Where does this
is great
track
for the
take place
times
in
when you want to show
Homestuck?
emotional support, but be snarky about it. That feels like a relatable situation to me. Or perhaps you want to express your dismay.
Oh wait, this is Tracy
but be
Remember.
snarky about it. Again, feels like a relatable situation to me. This image is
I mean,
definitely not
Teriyaki Remember.
specific to my 2635.
See, another good
I
Friska
know
picture,
I've
but
had
not the
other
one that I
images
use
on
most of the
this
time.
list for
Also known as
expressing
Four
emotional
Fingers!
help. I am currently sustaining psychic damage, but this is truly the perfect one.
You know,
Which makes-
this is the one that I need to spam. So I'm in in the past year, I've joined a few tabletop groups. Yeah, it's actually just the same tabletop group. We just have two different campaigns and different people are the GM. One of the members of our group in one of our campaigns specifically made a clown character so that they can drop Homestuck references at me. It's upsetting, especially because no one else in our group is a Homestuck. So, like, they drop these Homestuck references, and it's just me groaning in pain because all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I passed you Fega, or I walk up and you hear the ominous sound of honks, and I just... It's really upsetting. Like, my character and their character, they don't get along, mostly because I'm too busy sustaining psychic damage from the character's puppeteer, alright? And I use that word intentionally, okay? I just want you to know that this is upsetting. There's nothing you can do about it. I just want you to know that this is upsetting and cruel punishment. Alright? I'm talking to you as the audience. To you, if you're watching this, Honey's puppeteer, you know who you frickin' are. You could do something about it, but I know you won't because you're a bad person.
Makes sense, considering that Vriska is psychic and in pain at the time of this image from being psychic. Sometimes it takes displaying someone expressing their lived experiences to help you truly convey your own. Image number 11. Again, we have a pair of images.
Oh, I use
These
these ones. Yeah, these ones are good.
thumbs up.
I love these
These are
thumbs up
pages
pictures.
2776 and 2777. Here I wanted to give you a thumbs up image, but make it Homestuck. Just a good, solid thumbs up image from your buddy.
They are solid thumbs up
Bonus,
images.
You get two to choose from. Alright. With that, we enter the top 10 Homestuck reaction images. As objectively gathered for you by your friendly neighborhood.
I love how I use Comic Sans for that.
Let's count them down. Image number 10. Here is another.
Oh, this
pair
is
of
a good
reaction
one.
Images. Karkat and Dave Sad.
I
is from
probably
page
don't use this enough, but this is a
1630,
really
and
good
Jake
one.
and Jane Sad is from
I don't use the
5892.
Jake and Jane one as much because I like the
So much.
the
food
Karkat
face
Dave
is
one.
So unbelievably perfect. And again, I've given you options. I would go with Karkat and Dave personally, but do what feels right for you. Change it up in the moment. I don't think the Alpha timeline will care. Image number 9. This one is called
Oh,
Locale
gosh.
Albino, and it's from page
Okay, so I don't
1722.
use this
This is a
image
great
a
picture
lot,
because
but I
sometimes
do
you
keep
remove
it because I
trash from your life.
freaking
And also,
Lil
sometimes that
Cal.
trash is a hideous puppet that has haunted you.
Okay,
from
just
the
a
moment
second.
it's-
I need you to understand something. So Codex Entry, if you've watched her video about the marble nest, you should notice that in the live action section, in every single one of the live action filmed scenes, Lil Cal is in the background. And that is because an actual real life puppet of Lil Cal lives with Codex Entry, and it's horrible. It's, I mean, so lovingly crafted. Also the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I visited Codex Entry, and I knew that Lil Cal would be waiting there for me, and it was still, like, he's so long. You know, like, long Furby? That's Lil Cal. It's just Lil Cal's default state. It's just so horrifying. You know what? I mean, anything that my future self could try to do to me would not compare to what Lil Cal has already done to me. Just one of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life.
That its floppy, stupid little feet on the screen of your stupid laptop and stared at you with its stupid, horrible eyes. I'm fine. I just...
Little does the person recording this know that she will come face to face with the real Lil Cal, and it's awful!
This picture is called Bonkhead Troll and is from the animation on page 1931.
Good picture, do not use it very often. Would not rank it in my top 10 images at this point.
Such as when you're yelling. Hello, future self. How are you doing? Editing this conversation into the video.
I love how this becomes more and more pixelated over time.
That I sketched up. I did indeed. Yay! Also, having listened to that last conversation multiple times during the editing process, I think it's time for me to do a little bit of auspicing between the two of you. Oh, for the love of... Please don't bring the trolls shipping Punnett squares into this. In a video about Homestuck? You really expect me not to mention the shipping quadrants? Ugh, fair enough. Please tell me you're here to talk some sense into that psycho. Yeah, that's gonna be a no. So as I said, I've been editing these recordings into the video, and I am finding it, highly entertaining. You know, disturbing, but highly entertaining. Aw, yeah, high five there, future bestie! It's hard to high five over timelines, but, I appreciate the sentiment, Naroda. Can you put it into the video, though? Sure. Why not? I guess just one more sprite to drop. Okay. Let me just clap my hands for the sound effect. Oh, yeah. Anyway,
it's so
I say
cute!
we gather on with the questions, because we've already come this far. Might as well see it to the end. Question 9. Wait, what about questions 7 and 8? Already got you covered, bestie.
I told you to stop calling me bestie. Oh my gosh, I am so tired of your stupid, condescending attitude.
About me being
I can't understand what. Oh, really?
So if you haven't, because I'm actually not 100% sure that my intention for the scene came across. If you haven't read Homestuck, the song that Future Bestie plays here is one of the battle themes that's in early Homestuck. And so the idea is basically she's enjoying watching them fight until she's like, alright, I've had enough. I hope that came across.
This is being friendly.
I am
You're
being
allegedly
friendly.
the gold
Explain
blood.
But it kind of just looks like she starts watching a YouTube video.
Is this
I called
friendly?
her bestie
Or is
and
this
she didn't have a problem with it because unlike
psychopathic
you, she
behavior
isn't going
because
to
Which, once again, in my attention to detail, I did actually pull out my phone and play that song on my phone and recorded it being played on my phone for the sound effect.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Come on, kids. Enough of that. Sad self, I'm gonna need you to take your anger level down by at least 1 car cat.
Are you quantifying anger levels in terms of car cat?
I think
What
we
does
should
that even
quantify
mean?
anger levels in terms of car
One
cats.
car cat. Sad self. And Naroda, please stop calling her
oh my
bestie. You
gosh.
remember how it was? She's clearly going through some things.
I hate myself so much.
Fine, future bestie. So as Naroda already mentioned, she's already covered question 8, and it looks like question 7 was another attempt by Super Past Self to provoke us into creating a troll sona, which Naroda already did as well. So,
Oh yeah, look at me
that's why we're skipping ahead.
list.
Alright, question 9, and why don't you take on this one, Sad Self? What was your favorite Homestuck moment?
Stupid interview with my stupid future selves being over.
Alright, enough with that passive-aggressive nonsense. Come on, answer the question, sad girl.
Fine. sooner I comply, the sooner this is over. Oh, okay, my favorite Homestuck moment. Wait, are you drinking something? Please tell me there isn't alcohol in that.
Nah, just Faygo.
I was actually drinking Faygo. I can't believe my attention to detail. So I did find a dollar store that sold Faygo. For those of you who don't know, Faygo is only sold in parts of the United States, so I was a little surprised that I could find it. It's based out of Detroit, so it's not sold everywhere. It's not sold where I currently live. I actually moved after making this video, which is, again, one of the other reasons that I have been mostly silent this past year. But I did manage to find it. I, unfortunately, am still on the hunt for cotton candy Faygo. I will need to go find that the next time I go visit the Midwest. But I did find it. I got red pop and I got orange Faygo, and then I later tried their cola and strawberry. And it's just... No, not strawberry. Red pop is the strawberry-ish flavor. What else did I try? I can't remember. The thing, though, is Faygo is only okay. It's alright. It really is not my favorite kind of soda, but I was actually drinking Faygo. I wasn't just drinking nothing as the sound effect. I was literally drinking Faygo. I can't remember if I was drinking the red pop or the orange soda, but I was drinking one of them when I recorded this.
Oh, right, of course you finally
stupid enough to add
found
alcohol
some
into this
Faygo.
mix.
How far in the future are you? Have you managed to get a hold of the cotton candy Faygo?
Nope, still working on the cotton candy Faygo.
How does this one taste?
It's orange flavor and it tastes like orange soda. I was really expecting this to be cursed, but it's just...
It's not cursed, it's just eh.
Sugary orange soda. It's not bad,
I like Fanta better.
Soda. I also have a peach one around here somewhere, but...
Oh, that's right, it was peach at the time instead of red pop. I did try red pop. I didn't like red pop that much.
You're avoiding the question, sad girl.
I think peach was probably the best one.
Okay, in terms of funny moments, penis Ouija board. Good choice. And in terms of emotional moments, I don't know, maybe when Dave and Dirk finally get to have a conversation. Also good choice, best choice you could have made. Oh yeah, smooth save there, Naroda. Also, Naroda, it looks like you've already answered questions 10 and 11. What did you like about Homestuck and what did you not like? Well, let's move on to question 12. Would you recommend reading Homestuck? That's a really good question. Well, you heard my discussion of what I felt the good and bad parts of Homestuck are. I would say if you start reading Homestuck and you enjoy the characters and the dialogue, keep reading because there's more of that. And keep in mind that even though the beginning is slow, it does eventually speed up a bit. But you should be aware of Homestuck's limitations while going into it, and you should also be aware that, as I mentioned, I don't think the ending is fully satisfying, because there was just so much to pull back together by the end. I realize that not everyone feels that way, though. I know some people really do like the ending. So, I guess overall I enjoyed it for the most part, and I'm glad I read it, but it is an undertaking, and I definitely don't think Homestuck is for everyone. Huh. You actually sounded rational there for a moment. Aw, thanks. I hate that I know that.
You know what I just remembered? So I gave present self, and future self stars with different colors. So present self is yellow, future self is red, future self is gray. I believe I did that because it's the life progression of a yellow star. So it goes from being a yellow star to a red giant to a gray dwarf. Oh my gosh, I'm such a nerd!
But you just mouthed a bestie at the end of that, didn't you? You know?
I also mouthed a bestie at the end of that when I recorded the line.
Do you agree with her assessment, sad girl? You're a bit closer to having just... The thing is, it's just...
You thought this this was just a dumb jokey video.
Alright, and then the last question. Did Vriska do anything wrong?
You don't actually expect me to answer that, do you?
No, that would be insane. All right, so I think my work here is done. Let's finish up that countdown, shall we?
Image number 7. This is called Disgusted Trolls and Jack and is from page 2482. The combination of
Oh, this is such a good picture that I don't use enough. I do use this one sometimes, though.
With Gamzee's passing out with a honk. Beautiful. Perfect. I cannot say enough good things about this picture. Image number 6. This image is John Deranged Smile.
You know what's sad is I have this one on my phone and I don't use this enough. But I do love that I stuck this on the thumbnail of the video and just had an arrow pointing it to it saying my sanity. That's good. That was good. Good choice.
All right. And now to the top 5. Image number 5. This one is called.
This one is good. I love this one. In fact, I made this a sticker on my Discord server. I love it so much.
What about this picture is how understated Teresa's expression is compared to the words genuine distress. I don't know if I can explain why I love this image more than that, but thank you for your genuine distress, Teresa. Your sacrifice is much appreciated. Image number 4. This image is a radial finger.
I use this one literally all the time.
You guys.
Absolutely fantastic image.
I've legitimately been using this picture so much.
Yes, I continue to use it so much.
A fantastic reaction image. The finger guns combined with the slightly deranged expression is genuine perfection.
In fact, if all of my Homestuck reaction images, this is the one I'm most likely to use to non-Homestuck slash...
You're likely also a gremlin
slash people who
go for the finger pistol.
are not as familiar with my level of
Homestuck
Homestuckness.
I'm actually going to give you a bonus image here so that you can switch it up a bit. This one is.
I use this one too, yeah, but not as much as the Aradia finger guns.
Image number 3. Here we have Dave and.
Oh, I love this one. I love this picture so much. I do use this one. Yeah.
I adore.
I don't use it all the time because it's in specific context, but like if I want to express emotional distress, this is the one that I will use.
Such a mood, but I swear it is. It's like the everything is fine meme, except instead of blithely smiling, you're crying while alligators throw onions at you. If any picture encapsulates my Homestuck experience, it's this one. Right here.
Valid, honestly.
Image number 2. This image is called Spade.
Okay, so this is the thing. I still love this image. I don't use it very often because it is very situationally specific, but it is an excellent reaction image.
I feel you, Spades. I feel ya. I'm sorry. I know we're almost to the end, but I'm cutting in once more. This isn't really an intermission. It's more of a Metamission, if you'll excuse me for how pretentious that sounds. You see, today is April 12th. I am finalizing the video that you're watching right now, and I have a few last thoughts on this video that have decided they want to escape from my head onto your screen.
So, the thing about this is I really did write this on April 12th, the day before I released the video, and I think some of it, as I've emphasized many times, I was very sleep deprived, but like, even though I made it in a short period of time, there is a lot of emotional energy that goes into creating anything. And I'm really glad that I wrote this section once I had kind of reached my, like, well of emotional energy and exhaustion and just thoughts all swirling together. And it is advice that I still continue to wish I heated more, but I guess we'll get into it.
I promise I'll try to keep this quick, and don't worry, the irony of me complaining about Hussey's inability to streamline the plot of Homestuck when I myself am prone to their exact same types of self-indulgences is not lost on me. As a preliminary
I've never been
matter, my
concise at
Homestuck
any point in my
review
life.
team, aka my friend Akita, has informed me that more controversial than wanting to build Jurassic Park on Alternia are probably the facts that I've attempted to invent a new class spec and that I made a gold blood without psionic eyes. I do not apologize for the former. For the latter, though, Naroda covers her psionic eyes with contacts after nearly killing her best friend on accident with her psionic powers. It's how she copes with the trauma. That was definitely in her backstory from the beginning and not something I made up just now to cover up the fact that the psionic eyes scare me, and I was prioritizing aesthetics over canon accuracy.
Yeah.
Now then,
That is an important part of her
I am
backstory now,
honestly
though.
not sure what this monstrosity I've created is, or if it's actually good or funny. I suspect that what I'm seeing in my panicked, sleep-deprived state of Homestuck oversaturation is probably not an accurate reflection of the finished whole. My initial plan was to make a straight reaction image ranking video as a joke, but things snowballed in my head as they tend to do. In the end, this video is less about Homestuck itself, and more about how it feels to read Homestuck, and especially to read it in 9 days. As strange as it may sound, this video is perhaps the most honest reaction I could give to reading Homestuck. I've thought about editing parts of this video down, but somehow this strange creature you see in front of you feels to me that it is as it should be, if that makes any sense. After all, it wouldn't feel much like Homestuck if I'd kept things sane and linear, and if there wasn't an author getting in their own way.
You know, that's it. That's an interesting point. That is honestly the approach that I take to a lot of art. And it's something in particular that I have embraced as a result of writing music, because I feel like music in particular is so subjective and so very much interpreted by tastes and preferences that for me, a piece of music that I've created is done when my brain is like, it's good. And it might be the version of good that I am the only person who sees it that way. But at some point, you know, you have to make the art that feels right and true to you, and not the art that you think other people will like. You know, obviously there are some exceptions. If the art that feels good to you is something that is purposefully demeaning to someone else or offensive for the purpose of being offensive, then probably not. But other than those limited exceptions, I think you have to make the art that feels right to you. And I don't think this is the same Homestuck video I would make if I were to make a Homestuck video right now, but it was the Homestuck video that felt true to me a year ago. And, you know, now that I think about it, it's kind of nice to have this little time capsule of myself. I always wish that I were a better journal keeper. I used to be when I was a kid. I have some journals from when I was little that are honestly freaking hilarious now. Mostly because young me was very obsessed with the TV show X-Men Evolution. But in a way, this is like a snapshot of myself from this fevered period of like 3 weeks at the end of March to mid-April 2022, and that's kind of beautiful. That's kind of wonderful, honestly.
And isn't honesty often at the heart of art, if I can be so bold as to call this video art, that is? The past few weeks have certainly been a performance art piece on how loud you can cry for help before someone stages an intervention, and I'm still waiting.
Yeah, I'm still waiting, actually.
You see, I spend so much time dreaming of the art I'd like to make, and I spend so little time actually making it. There is absolutely a reason for that. Making art is hard and exhausting and painful. It's cutting out a small portion of your soul to breathe life into something new, and it hurts when the thing you've created is bad, or if people don't like it, or if what is possibly the most excruciating of all. Nobody ever sees it to begin with. But perhaps what I forget is that this part of my soul wants to be carved out, that it needs to be carved out, that if I leave it in me, it grows cancerous, and it plagues me with the knowledge that maybe I could have made something great, if only I wasn't so obsessed with meeting my own platonic ideals for what the things I make should be. I learn so much more from creating one piece of bad art than I do from dreaming of 100 good ones. I've said a lot of things about Homestuck, but now that I'm at the end of the weeks-long journey that has been leading to this video, I think Homestuck deserves for me to say one thing more, and that is, I wish I could make something as beautifully flawed as Homestuck. Homestuck has a certain reputation online, but what that reputation misses is there are parts of the comic that are truly insightful, that are borderline genius, even if its parts don't always form a coherent whole. And I wish I could make something that touched just a fraction of the people Homestuck has touched, that could spark imaginations the way it has, that could inspire someone more than a decade after its inception to make a truly unhinged reaction video, because even being flawed as it is, it still holds that sort of power. I've realized in talking about Homestuck to people I know who read it as it was coming out that perhaps even more fascinating than Homestuck itself is the oral history around it. And yes, that includes the fandom drama and the hussy drama, but also the staggering amount of talent that got their start with Homestuck. From fan artists and fan fiction writers to the insanely gifted music team involved in the comic. Whatever else Homestuck is and is not, it has legitimately changed people's lives, and it has changed a great many of them for the better. So, to the 5 of you still watching this video, thank you. Thank you for sticking through this honest, hot mess. Thank you for holding this soul piece that I pulled out of my chest and planted into the nebulous grounds of YouTube where, who knows, maybe this part of me will live forever. Maybe my many greats-grandchildren will stumble upon this video and wonder about my sanity the way I'm sure you are right now. If so, hey kids. Hi from your long-past relative. I hope we didn't leave Earth in too bad of a state for you to inherit. Or maybe in 500 years, when our planet has been ravaged by the effects of global warming, the last remaining server archive of YouTube will flood and it will be as though this video never existed in the first place. The fact that I made a thing, a true, if imperfect thing, that will live on its own for however long or brief that time may be, maybe that's enough. With that in mind, let me finish telling you about Homestuck.
So in the vein of making a reaction video to this previous Homestuck video, I decided to also write a metamission for this one. I've been thinking a lot about the nature of art. Art is an interplay between the artist and the audience. Art doesn't exist without the artist, but it also doesn't exist without the audience. Now, sometimes the artist is the audience. Sometimes art was never made to be shared. Sometimes it's enough that you, as the artist, created a thing for you alone to experience. And as someone who is, as I hope it's not too pretentious to call myself, an artist, I not only understand but embrace that. I make art that I enjoy making. If I don't enjoy making it, then I don't make it. Art is too difficult to create if you are miserable during the journey. But I also make art that I enjoy enjoying. No matter how many times any of you has listened to any of the pieces of music I've created, and I know from my Bandcamp stats that a few of you have listened to Blame a heck of a lot of times, I guarantee that I've listened to my music more. And maybe that's how it should be. I firmly believe that you have to make the art that is true to you as the artist foremost, and the audience should come second. But one of the wonderful parts of making art for the internet is the promise that there is an audience waiting unseen for it somewhere in the reaches of its ether. One of the worst parts of making art for the internet is the reality that while you may know with a surety that this audience exists, there is nearly as much of a surety that this audience will have trouble finding you and the things you've created. There is simply too much art to be appreciated. So as an artist, you have to be okay with knowing that you may always be your biggest fan, because there's never a guarantee that your audience will find you. And that can be painful when the art you've created was made to be shared, but you simply have no one to share it with.
You okay, bestie?
It's just, I've worked so hard on this album. Like, I know describing the album earlier in this video, it probably made it sound like a fun thing that I've done behind the scenes, and it has been. I thought that I would burn out of making it, and I haven't. Every time I put it down, I end up picking it up again a few weeks later. But I've worked harder on this album than I've worked on any of my videos. Maybe more than all of my videos combined. I cannot understate the amount of work, and I'm not even done. It turns out, for some crazy reason, that there is a reason that a songwriter and a singer and a musician and a sound engineer and a producer, they're all often separate people, and they are not working on a 2011 MacBook running an old version of GarageBand. But more to the point, what I've written and recorded so far, it's really good. Like, I know I'm biased, and I know I've just said that I make the music that feels right to me, that I like to listen to. But it's really good. I have poured so much of myself into this nebulous, ethereal thing that started out as a joke. This concept album that I've written for a fandom that's gone mostly dormant. And I don't know if anyone will listen to it. And I don't know if anyone will find it.
Art is the interplay between the artist and the audience.
Yeah.
You know, bestie, I never told you from how far in the future I am.
No, I guess you didn't. How far are you?
Oh, a few months or so.
Yeah.
It is good, bestie. It's really good. And other people think so too.
You know I have no reason to take your words seriously.
You know I have no reason to lie. You wouldn't really lie to yourself about this, would you?
No. I guess I wouldn't.
I think right now, you're focusing too much on factors you can't control. What you can control is finishing up enough songs to release as the EP, and then finishing up the rest of this behemoth. And, well, this. Because if you don't tell people that you're making a heckin' good Homestuck album, how will they know where to find it?
Yeah. I suppose you're right.
I could give you platitudes about how you're at the end of a long road and All you see is the trees still ahead of you instead of the ones you've already passed, young Padawan. But those would just be nice words. I think the best I can tell you is you do finish it. You finish it, and it's not perfect because no piece of art is, but it's good. And that's all you can really ask for. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Making art just kind of sucks sometimes. It does. But it's also what makes everything else worth it. What would life be without art? Both the good and the bad, the successes and the failures. And without the artists pouring out their souls to make it. You've got this, past self. I'm going to go now. I'll be waiting for you. In the future. Wait. Yeah? Thanks, future bestie. Psh, you know it! So here we are, the moment you've been waiting for all video, the #1 reaction image, and let me preface this with, I genuinely don't think you'll agree with me, because so far, nobody has had the instinctive reaction to this image that I have. But I am the curator of memes here. This is my collection. This is my #1 reaction image.
I stand by this. I stand by this so much. You can't see this, but I am bopping my head to the music. This is great. I'm here for Disco Slimer.
This is Dismayed Slimer from
Someday I will finish up. I made an I started working on an extended sequence of that to the entirety of Sun Slammer. Someday I will finish it up and release it because, like, I stand by Disco Green Slammer. He's my boy. Disco Green Slammer for president 2024.
Also shows up later in the story.
Running on the Green Party ticket.
I cannot fully articulate why Dismayed Slimer speaks to me. I think it's the combination of the expression with the fact that he's so crudely drawn and horribly pixelated.
He's just my boy.
It's like Dave's terrible Bro and Jeff comics, except instead of making fun of Bro and Jeff, I just empathize so deeply.
Oh, I
with
got a bunch of
Slimer.
flack in the comments for
Maybe
calling
it'll
them
make
terrible.
More sense if I showed it in the context of the panel in which he first comes up.
They
I
are
mean,
objectively terrible, even if they
just
aren't
look at
subjectively
it,
terrible.
alright?
Let me
Just-
clarify, okay?
Just complete dismay at having been forced to witness the
He's so
insanity
good.
of this
Look at that
adventure
boy.
he's been on. Just the true encapsulation of the feeling. Oh, great, fantastic, fantastic. Why? Help? And again, why?
All excellent points, Green
I'm quite
Slimer.
sure that literally none of that made sense.
No, it made sense to me. It made sense to me,
doesn't
your
matter.
future
You'll
self!
always be my boy, Dismayed Slimer.
Alright, I think it's time for me to tell you the real scoop. We're gonna open my Homestuck reaction images folder. Okay, let's go through these. No! Stop being weird. Okay, let me think about this. Top actual reaction images 1 year in. Dismayed Slimer. Dismayed Slimer. Dismayed Slimer is still my boy, okay? I love Dismayed Slimer. He's my boy. Dismayed Slimer. Let's see. None of these. Let's think. This one. Still good. Still good. Don't use it enough. This one's funny. I like this one. Oh, wait! This one. The one called Teriyaki Cool Face. I'm sorry, I mispronounced that. Teriyaki Cool Face. Come on, man. That's a good one. I use that one. I do use that one as kind of the like, haha, you losers. I use that all the time. Yeah, that's a good one. One not in this video. Unhinged Gamzee. I use Unhinged Gamzee when I want. Mostly, actually, when I'm gonna do or say something that is gonna make my friends go once again, there she is being a crazy Homestuck. That is the perfect image for this. Alright, what else? What else? The thumbs up images, love those, use those all the time. I do use the laughing teriyaki face. Let's see. I do use the facepalm one sometimes, not that often though. Oh yeah, annoyed and in a disguise. This is a good one for when you just want a deadpan reaction shot. Excellent. The two finger guns ones, absolutely use those all the time. Like, truly the image, the reaction image that I've gotten the most mileage out of is the Aradia finger guns one. That is absolute gold. Truly a great reaction image right there. I have used the Laughing Rose one, not that often, but it is good in specific contexts. The ones, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize this didn't make it into the video. So my top reaction images would probably be the Aradia finger guns, this one of Mina crying. This one didn't make it into the Homestuck reaction video. I use this one all the time. Whenever I want to show that I'm upset, this is one of my go-to reaction images. Like, genuinely top 5 now. I don't use it enough, but I also love the full picture that has not only Mina crying, but John giving her this sideways look. Often would be a good picture to quote back to me when I quote this Mina crying. Let's see. Where... I do use the John concerned face sometimes, but not that often. This one, the Car Cat and Dave sad capture, I use this one. I like this one. Not nearly as much as the Mina crying, though. Let's see. The hugs pictures, the 2 hugs pictures, I do use those quite a bit. I use Sad Dave here, this one. I use this one sometimes. That's a pretty good one. Let's see. Genuine Distress is still fantastic. That's absolutely a top 5 one, even if I don't use it as much as I would like. Again, it is a sticker in my Discord server, so that was elevated to Discord sticker status. You know it's an important one, where it's not even just an emoji, it's a sticker. Dave in Stew, beautiful. Love this one. Dang, just a second. I'm realizing that I don't have the picture of Vriska I use all the time. There was that picture of Vriska that I was referencing, but maybe I don't have it saved in my desktop. Let me double check. I don't. Okay, just a second. Did I skip it? Might just be on my phone. Yeah, it might just be on my phone. Okay, Well, I'm gonna cut out then in video editing and show this picture of Vriska is excellent reaction image. I use this all the time when I want to seem smug or annoying, especially in a Homestuck context. Just a great one when you're just like, haha, yes, I am trolling you, you loser. But I'm gonna be honest. Okay, so my actual number one reaction, well, okay. I want to be clear. This is on the same level as Slimer, but Slimer still gets like a gold star S tier reward for just being special boy he is. This reaction image needs a little bit of a backstory though. So I told you that I got really into reading bad Homestuck fanfic, and again, I will not tell you what fanfic this is from, but the basic context is that in this fic, Bro has a company that Dave works for, and Bro often makes Dave sleep with rival executives so that he can use them for corporate espionage reasons. And so in the context of the fic, he is once again asking Dave if he will do this with this new executive who is, of course, Carcat. It's a Dave Cat fic. And he says basically, you're going to sleep with him, aren't you, about Carcat? And Dave doesn't respond, and Bro follows that up with the following line, which is just one of the greatest things I've ever seen in the entire world. He says, yeah, that's our little company slut. And it is a rare line that takes me that much by surprise, but also delights me. And that was this line. Yeah, that's our little company slut. So I took this panel from Homestuck and I altered it. It's the panel where Bro finds baby Dave, and I altered it and gave it the caption, yeah, that's our little company slut. This is actually, I think my computer's being unhappy with me. This is, like, this is a GOAT to me. Like, this is one of the greatest images, the greatest lines that we have ever been given as a species. And I just want you to know that. This is my top reaction image. It stands next to Slimer. It stands next to Dismayed Slimer. Nothing could replace Dismayed Slimer, but he stands with him. I think I need to close all these because my computer seems to be unhappy with me for having too many things open. Let's finish this video.
I swear this is not me trolling you. This is truly me loving this picture from the bottom of my nerdy, weird little heart. I love him so much. If I could have John's t-shirt with Slimer on it, except it was Dismayed Slimer, I would buy that in a heartbeat because...
I mean, look at him.
Oh my gosh.
Look at him. Yeah, anyone would.
Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was amusing to you at least, and I also
yes, DVD Carcat's back!
I decided to actually talk about my opinions on Homestuck. Why don't you give... Hey, I'm cutting in. Nobody watches the ends of my videos anyway, so who cares if I cut off the pre-recorded voiceover?
I love that.
What I really want to know is, okay, so I have a great idea for fan fiction where instead of getting stabby, Jack unionizes the black chess pieces with help from Baking Dad, and I just want to know. If
go to my AO3. It'll start April 13th.
You just won't shut up. You won't shut up.
No, she has good ideas. Let her speak. Let her finish.
Let the voiceover finish its work. Oh my gosh, I'm begging you.
This doesn't concern you. This is between me and the viewers.
Like and subscribe. I talk about video games and make music sometimes.
Stop being such a theater kid.
Like,
well, if you're not going
music
to let the
a lot of
voiceover
times
be recorded
now.
Finish the job, then I guess I have to finish it myself. I certainly can't trust you to do it. I stream on Twitch, usually on Thursdays. We have a lot of fun there. follow me on
And
Twitch.
you've been acting like I'm the melodramatic one. Well, who's
Remember
using
that the
big
reaction
theater
images
kid
are
energy
all in
problem
the
solving
description.
now?
I think that's everything. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye, you weirdo.
Goodbye.
I actually find that part a little freaky when she just kind of comes towards the screen.
Like to see.
Goodbye.
All right.
I take it all back. Reading Homestuck was most definitely a mistake.
I love that. Thank you for watching. Once again, subscribe if you want to be updated on, you know, the Homestuck album. And also if you want to stick it to my friends over at Last Minute Essays. Follow me on Twitch if you want more regular content. And, you know, honestly, any emotional support that you could provide me at this point as I try to finish this monster, this horror terror of a product, this project that I have put upon myself, it would definitely be appreciated. Happy April 1st and a happy upcoming Homestuck Day to everyone. See you next time, and stay sane out there.